Hidden behind my screen, sorry. Okay, there. Yes, the great plane wanderer Jay Silverlong enters alongside his werebear companion. What do you look like?
Um, so Jay Silverlong, uh, complicated individual. He is a a yellowish green skinned, kind of dappled with black markings, Githyanki, or yeah,
Yep,
Githyanki.
you're right.
Yeah. Githyanki individual. So a very if you've seen the Predator movies, he kind of looks like a skinnier version of one of those guys.
Less
Um,
mandibles too. It's just a
yeah,
mouth.
less mandibles. More almost like if you mixed an elf and one of those predators together, um, in build and height and what have you.
Very lanky.
Very lanky and black talons. He's currently dressed in uh, almost like a noble-ish attire. Leather straps all around. Um, sort of royal blue with like accents of silver all throughout. His hair is like brown, uh, and not as much hair as he's accustomed to, but he has brown hair and a single silver streak that goes from the uh, front of his head to the back of his head, his hair, I should say. And his eyes, a bright blue. Um, and yeah, he has a well adorned bow on his back, and he almost has the essence of someone who doesn't belong here or there, if that makes sense.
But between, perhaps. Excellent. This Githyanki warrior, of some far traveled place, and a mighty werebear stalk into a very large cylindrical uh, throne room with parapets of stained glass. And sitting in the throne in the middle of the room is the Archfey of Prismeer, the Lady of the Carnival, Zabylna herself. She is dressed in a beautiful, sort of leafy but covering everything, green dress. She is beautiful, elegant. Um, she has the poise of the appearance of a human, but there's clear that there's more to her than just that. For her hair is long and perfectly straight and beautiful white with a long black streak, and she also has very uh, sort of piercing, cutting eyes. And at her side is a little demonic creature. Looks like a little sort of cockroachy sort of demon creature that sort of sits on the uh, armrest of where she sits. Um, as you two enter, she says, Brock, Jace, welcome, welcome. I am aware that you are all poised to set out into the Shadowfell very soon. The Shadowfell can be a very dangerous place. I've made the preparations for you to travel without having to worry too much about memory and time being of a demanding issue. But there is something that does require attention, is that you potentially go into tremendous danger. And seeing as it is just you two and Trixie, I thought I'd double my efforts and ensure that you had a little bit more support at your back. So, to start, is I intend to make good on a promise I made to your old companion, Izzy. Where is he? And you guys see sort of appearing out of the air the blink dog, to be goes by the tag Izzy. Um,
Still a dog? We never
Still a
fixed that?
dog.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, Sort of appears. Goes, hello, good, back. Good to see everybody. Yes, so we finally making me whole, lady of the carnival. She goes, yes, yes. Your curse was a little bit more complicated, and I've been quite busy, but I think I have the means to finally dispel what the hags had done to you. He goes, well, excellent. Glad to hear it. Uh, let's get on to it then, right? Yes, when my magnificent powers may return to me once more. She goes, indeed. Um, Anything else you'd like to do as a dog before I do this? He goes, hmm.
The food is here.
Nah, I think I'm quite done with being a dog. I'm sufficiently been belly rubbed and pissed on curtains and such. I think I'm ready to be unrecognizable for those crimes. She sort of looks at him for a second, and his ears kind of flop down. She goes, whatever. And she pulls out like a scroll out of her dress. She sort of reads it. She speaks a couple of arcane words under her breath. And she looks at Izzy, and speaks in a tongue that you've only heard her speak in a couple times before. A language that you do not know, but makes the very room sort of grow dark, and almost your bones begin to vibrate inside of their body as she begins to speak in black speech. A arcane language that is perhaps so forbidden that it may have been forgotten by the planes, except for her. And as these dark words are manifesting, you see Izzy's form begins to sort of turn black and become amorphous, transmuting into something until she finally says, I wish for you to be whole. And as the wish is cast, the form transforms into a more humanoid form. The fur morphing from a bestial canine-like form into something a little bit more sheen, a little more shiny. And the beauty of a great warrior emerges where once that dog stood. Aaron, would you like to describe what your character looks like?
Yes. Hello. So, his name is coming up. All right, his name is Tom Lynn. And Tom Lynn is very human looking. However, almost supernaturally beautiful. He's essentially the male Snow White. He's got gorgeous dark locks of wavy and slightly curly shiny black hair, and he's just perfectly proportioned and very symmetrical, just a very good looking young man, and he's got beautiful dove gray eyes. um, he's he's something to behold in his human beauty. He should be adorned, I'm guessing, in all of his armor, which looks like it's belonged to someone of some significance, as well as, if he has it with him, a very ornate shield, and an interesting looking longsword as well. Um, and with a bit of a glimmer in his dove gray eyes, and a slight alluring smirk, he looks at Zabylna and says, my lady, thank you. I am in your debt.
Indeed, you are. But let us be more formal now. I expect that Izzy will not suffice any longer. Do you recall who you are?
I suddenly do. I am called Tom.
Anyone can roll a history check if they so desire.
I'm on it.
I'll never turn down a time I can roll a die.
Fair enough.
I did not roll well.
19.
10.
19. Yeah, you're not really sure, Jace. But Brock, you you haven't heard everything, but the name does ring a bell. You spent some time in Selenice in the summer court, and perhaps in your time there you heard about a small scandal Raj that she was a knight that she was very possessive of, shall we say, one that she very much enjoyed having at her side, disappeared or ran away. There was a big scandal that happened quite publicly, one that was of a deep insult to the Summer Queen, and that drove her to great anger. More than that, you don't really know, but you do remember like the name Tamlin being associated with a sort of scandal with the Summer Queen.
I'll lean over to Chase. This name of this pretty boy rings a bell. I think you ran away from the Summer Queen.
Is that so? You know, I was always that beautiful.
Were you?
Yes, I was. Let's have a sigh.
Classic Jace. No. Oh boy. Regard Tamlin. And say, well, I have to say, transforming you back into your original state, Tamlin, was no, even for me, easy feat. You had quite great enemies about you. That's such a curse overrode even my deepest magic. It took some resource to bring you to your current state.
Yes, she is certainly a cruel and cunning mistress.
And who's that?
Oh, the Summer Queen.
Oh, very interesting.
She took me from the material plane when I was but a child, kept me in servitude in her court till I was grown, and until I was stolen away by the love of my life.
I see. What an interesting tale.
Check. Yes, we fled to start a life together. Well, we did for a number of years, and vanished once again from my own family engagement.
I see. Well, I suspect you know how things work here in the Feywild, how one favor returns another.
Certainly, I am in your service, milady.
I am glad to hear it. Such quick devotion. Very well, I most certainly accept your service. My court is out of need of a paladin of late. Well then, Tamlin, this is the Feywild, and one's word is their oath. So I accept it. I accept your word, until such a time as I feel that your debt has been fulfilled. But I assure you, your time here in Prismere, if you allow it, will not be a terrible one. Quite rewarding, in fact. As one of a paladin's persuasion and moral fortitude might enjoy the idea of saving the world and saving the plains and such, might be to your satisfaction. In the meantime, yes, please.
Saving will suffice for now, my lady.
For now, you have other objectives, returning to your love, perhaps?
Exactly.
Well, if you serve me faithfully, Tamlin, there may be a place for her here if you know where she is or ever find her once more.
That's very welcoming. Thank you.
Welcoming indeed. And I will not have you as part of my court and not have you endowed with the proper, shall we say, tools the proper gifts to serve me with. So, Tamlin, as you enter my court, and with your skill and your armor, I think it might be best that you assist my inner council, the Knights of the Scorched Earth. Being a paladin, I'm sure it might amuse you to be a knight once more under my service of an Archfey.
My rightful place.
I like this one. So then, if that is it, I shall tell you now what it is you have gained. I have here my butler somewhere around, a rather strange-looking fellow who can flatten himself almost two-dimensionally like a piece of paper. If ever you require equipment or anything, you may see him, and he may obtain it for you, magical or otherwise. If you ever require research, I have an extensive library here that can help you learn of such things. If you ever require sanctuary, Prismeer is yours to harbor you from any dangers, and will carry with it my protection. And last, but not least, Tamlin, you seem to be a warrior of great power, so I'd be willing to bestow upon you 2 gifts. Not just any gifts, but one that only a being of ancient power such as myself can bestow. So, I shall grant you 2, and I ask you, brave Tamlin, what is your heart's desire?
Oh.
Do you wish to lead armies? Do you wish to have a weapon of exceptional power? Do you wish to be stronger than the rest, smarter, wiser? What would you desire?
Well, oh, is this in addition to what I already have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She is your patron and thus bestows upon you supernatural gifts, just as she has her others.
I only have one though, because I was gone for a while.
Oh, Jace, yes, we'll get to you, love, in a moment.
If it would, my lady, I would prefer to be a little keener in mind.
Keener in mind. A little wiser, perhaps?
Absolutely.
If that is the case, then that is what you'll have. I wish Tamlin to gain the blessings of understanding. And with that, Tamlin, you feel your mind sharpen. Just barely noticeable, but enough that your eyes carry around the room a little bit more intensely. Your innate judgment seems to be a little bit more precise. Just a little edge in the right direction. You have gained the blessing of understanding. Your wisdom score is increased by 2 to a maximum of 22.
Oh, great.
I'm happy to make a feat to sort of carry these over into your sheet after the game, of course. And she says, and you may have one more. You are a human, yes?
I am.
Such a shame to be a creature that cannot see in the dark like so many others. Perhaps you might wish for your keen mind to be matched by keener eyes.
That must most certainly be helpful in service to your lady.
If this is what your heart desires, then it is mine to grant. She waves her hand through the air, and there is another dust of magic, and she says, I wish, Tamlin, to gain the charm of dark vision. And Tamlin's eyes, those blue, or those gray dove eyes almost become a little bit more, they don't change in color, but there's something about them that seems a little more precise, like the eyes sort of dilate wider and seem to just like hold a slight larger dilation. And Tamlin, suddenly the room brightens around you a little bit more, and the shadows in the corners of the room are not so black anymore. You have gained 60 feet of dark vision.
All right.
She says, and with that, magically so, you are marked another one of my champions. We hope you will enjoy your time here.
It is my pleasure.
Excellent. Oh, and Jace, yes. It's been a while. You were locked in a stone. I had almost forgotten. Your silence is on, Jace.
Sorry. Silent spell has been one of the more tricky ones to learn, I should say.
It is It's a tricky spell, indeed.
But no, I have not forgotten.
What is your heart desire, Jace?
Oh, so much.
Do you wish to be a great slayer of enemies? Do you wish to be stronger, more agile? Would you wish to never feel disease touch your breast again? Be safe from harm? Never be harmed by a high height again? What does your heart desire?
Be a half elf again.
Well, that is an interesting prospect, I must say. But I do enjoy the enhanced awareness that this form allows me. But if I had to think of one of my top desires, I think that I would want to be more adept at taking damage.
I see. You wish to be safer from harm.
I do.
That is the case, then I shall give you the blessing of protection. Damage is best dealt with when avoided, I find, more often than not. Whether it be from spell or sword, you shall be better defended. And with that, she grants you the blessing of protection, which will grant you a +1 bonus to AC and all saving throws.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I would love that as a feat, by the way.
Tell you what, both of you, send me a quick message about what I just gave you. I'm sure I'll remember, but it'll help me remember to set it up for you after the game. And those blessings will be bestowed upon you in more mechanical fashion.
Thank you. That makes it so much easier.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very well. If there's nothing else, I shall give you all time to continue your preparations and perhaps inform what Tamlin stuck his foot into with all of us. In the meantime, I have there is a diplomat I must speak with promptly.
Oh, not another one.
Yes, they come and they go, and all require an audience, it seems.
Well, do be careful, my lady.
Well, you all haven't left yet. I'm sure I'll be fine.
As you wish, my queen. I'll head out the door.
Okay.
Or is she gonna leave?
She'll stay. She'll stay. She's this is her throne room, and even if she is leaving, you guys leave, and then she'll leave because presentation's important. Apparently,
it's court. That's what you do in court, right?
Yeah. It's like okay, they're gone. They're gone. I can go now. Okay, cool.
Tamlin.
All right. Yep. Follow
us.
All right. Tamlin falls
Did
over.
you actually go?
Tamlin gets knocked out.
He just leaves. Like
he's like, okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, the door's a pull, not a push.
Yeah, where do you guys want to? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys take Tamlin probably to the Tower of the Knights of the Scorched Earth?
Yeah.
Just to have like a bro down, a real quick bro down, and continue your preparations. And maybe part of those preparations are letting your new friend know what is up.
Right, gentlemen, what are we off to then? This doesn't seem so terrible.
Well, it's nice here in the castle.
We do get put on quite a few more than dangerous quests, I should say. But from speaking from someone who was here, then abruptly had to leave, against my own will, of course. I must say it is quite nice to be back in the proverbial arms of Lady Zabylna.
Nice. Do we currently sit in the lady's wait?
I suppose so.
We're making our preparations before we head into the Shadowfell.
Ah, the Shadowfell.
Yes.
And what do we speak there?
Are you familiar with Witchlight Carnival?
You may make a history check if you wish to see if you're familiar.
16.
16. During your time at court, you recall the Summer Queen musing about the Lady of the Carnival and her Witchlight Carnival. Every now and then, it wasn't an obsession, but every now and then you'd hear her bring it up as the Lady of the Carnival being an independent archfey that she desired to bring into the fold of the Sele court, and that tales of the Witchlight Carnival's festivities across the plains were something to behold, that many enjoyed them and brought that she mused that it was a carnival that brought the true beauty of the Feywild to all the plains. So yeah, you're familiar with it. Never been or seen it, but you've heard of it.
Oh, indeed. It sounds like quite the festival.
Yeah, it travels around the material plane, works as kind of a gate to the Feywild.
That's how
But
all of the knights met, as a matter of fact.
Oh, interesting indeed.
well, there's a sister carnival. I assume works the same way, but for the Shadowfell. We're gonna track down this carnival.
I see. And do they bring knights here from the Shadowfell?
Um,
Possibly.
maybe. We're the only knights of the scorched earth I've ever heard of, and
Honestly, if they did, it wouldn't surprise me.
like the anti version of us.
Fair. And you are, the two of you are the knights of the scorched earth?
Oh, more than just us two. Well,
In this particular room, we are.
yes, in this particular room. But many knights have come and gone, bearing the title. I believe my predecessor was what was her name? Nithroel, something of that.
Yeah, it was
or other?
Nithroel.
Yes. We also have Trixie, and don't tell her I said this, a cunning druid of some astounding power. And I'm serious. Don't tell her I said any of this. It must stay between us in this room. But yes, we had a cowboy. Is that the term?
No, I'm pretty sure he was a human.
Oh, right.
Inspiration, Brock. That was clever.
Yeah, he liked to wield pistols. As he
Pistols.
referred to them. Yes, they were quite loud, and some would say uncivilized. But I would say, as far as projectile weapons go, they weren't terrible.
Oh, a thunderous projectile weapon.
Called them firearms.
Yes. I think it's a lot of embellishment, but
Kind of looks at his arms and says, firearms.
It's. I thought the same thing. I don't know. I don't know who comes up with that name. Probably Wyatt. That was his name. Uh, Wyatt, yes. I never got a last name.
So this is a traditional organization that's persisted through time.
Well,
Yeah,
as far as time
technically, yeah.
works, I suppose. At first they were like, oh, geez. There was also a sorcerer a long time ago. But then again, as you've been informed, time works quite strangely here.
Oh, certainly.
But yes. As far as the nights go, I believe we should be having. Well, we lost two. I don't know where Trixie is at the current moment, but it's starting to look like it's only us for now.
You'd mentioned being brought here by the carnival. The two of you are from the material plane. You're not of the Feywild.
I am from the material plane. I have been here for quite some time, if that means anything.
I'm also from the material plane and also been here for quite some time, since before I even encountered the carnival.
Indeed. Yes, yes.
Interesting.
I assume you're from the Feywild.
No, I actually originally was from the material plane, um,
Oh.
and abducted, as one might say,
Ah.
to the Feywild, to the summer court.
Oh. Well, I suppose out of all the places you could be abducted, the summer court isn't the most terrible. I mean, they care a lot about beauty, and they're a bit vain, but, you know.
He smiles and kind of lifts his chin a little bit. Yes.
I can tell you did quite well there.
Obviously, yes, it was not a terrible way to spend the time that I spent, but you know, captivity is no place for anyone.
Very true. Yes, until only recently, I was in captivity for quite a long time.
Oh, captivity to an archfey.
No, it was more of
Captivity to a gemstone.
yes, captive inside the gemstone, which was also owned by
Great Khan.
a great Khan of the Earth plane, not the material plane, whatever, but Earth plane.
Sure,
It's,
sure.
for lack of a better term, quite rocky.
Well, how
He had a bad hand of cards dealt to him.
that does sound like some cruel magic indeed.
Yes. Are you familiar with a deck of many things?
No.
Well,
actually, I would like
as-
Stamlin to roll. You might be considering where it happened, and you're from there to a degree. Make me an Arcana check. Yeah,
This
Arcana.
did happen to me.
Mhm.
18.
18. Tamlin, you've attended the summer games of Selenice, in which many strange festivities are put on for the amusement of the Summer Queen and her many courts that attend her. You weren't there for the last one, but it has happened in various games where basically it's sort of like a roulette game of sorts that the Summer Queen very much enjoys, where she places a deck of many things before several champions and they draw until one's left standing, basically.
Okay.
But the deck of many things is a deck that holds either great fortune or misfortune within it, where the draw of a card can send your soul reeling through the plains, or grant you a powerful weapon, or bestow an ancient rival upon you, or give you property. Anything could happen of great fortune or great misfortune. Great chaotic. Yep.
I see. And your prize was to be trapped within a gem.
Indeed. With my body being well, left behind. But my soul was trapped inside of that gem for some time. I drew another card that I believe it was called the Rogue or something or other.
Interesting.
I don't know what it does. As far as I can tell, it made life pretty, for lack of a better term, shitty for quite a while.
That does seem unfortunate. He kind of like looks at your body and extends a finger. Doesn't quite touch, but he's like, "Is this the same body that you left then?"
Sadly, yes. Before this, due to an increase in intellect, for better or for worse, he points to this headband that he has. It has a gem in the middle that kind of glows whenever he's thinking really, really hard. Uh,
What-
and yes, due to this thirst for knowledge, I stumbled upon I believe a tomb of a warlock of a very, very, very powerful Lich King or something or other. And uh, one can only take so many disintegration beams before they expire. So I was reincarnated in this Githyanki form.
Interesting. What an adventurous life.
I'll say.
It was very preventable.
So
It's neither here nor there.
you must have had a great lust for knowledge.
Yes, yes. I still do, but with moderation.
Well, moderation is something we sometimes learn.
The hard way, yes.
Not in the Feywild. Moderation? What the fuck? No, I'm kidding. Well,
Hey,
as Brock, Tamlin, and Jace have quite fondly been catching up, Zabylna has someone she needs to speak to at court. So the nobles gather in a couple places within the Palace of Heart's Desire. There is the Grand Dining Hall. And then, of course, there is... Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to pull it up so I'm given the correct information. But definitely the Grand Dining Hall, a long table with many tables for people to sit at, attended to by enchanted pots and tea kettles and serving trays, where music from a strange instrument with ivory keys is played. And then, of course, there's the actual ballroom. And both places are excellent places for the many guests of Zabylna to attend. Carmen, where do you think your character is right now?
So let me just make sure this is sort of a scene of revelry, not like dancers, jugglers, entertainment in general, people just generally carousing, or
I would say both. This isn't like a formal it's a formal courtly setting, but you're not like attending court, if that makes sense. You've been invited to the mansion and you're politicking as one does. But this is indeed a place of festivity where, as one of the guests of the Lady of the Carnival, you are being amused by her goblin servants, by the various musicians, by the accommodations. You're very much being amused and given the opportunity to speak and chat and carouse with the other courtly individuals who have been so lucky as to make their way into this palace. So we're not in an official courting setting at this time. Casual, if that could be a thing in this setting.
Business casual.
Business casual, yeah, exactly.
Vivienne is not
Excuse.
casual anything. She is lightly.
And you fit right in.
She is on a chaise somewhere where the lighting is exactly perfect. So she's not exactly spotless, nothing that ostentatious, but backlit in a way that the light sort of glimmers off of her very moonlit colored skin. She has soft, mossy colored green hair and sort of a 40s kind of bob. Her eyes are two different colors. One is purple, one is gold, and she has the fine features of a noble Eladrin. Uh, Feeling very, very springy. She's roughly 5'10", but built very much like a ballet dancer. So tall, willowy, elegant, and she's probably sitting like if there's two levels, like if there's like a level where everybody is and like maybe a level above where everybody's watching and eating and whatever, she'd probably be sitting like a little above, sort of drinking, talking to people as they come by, but more or less just people watching and getting the general vibe for the place.
Understood. If that's the case, I think it would be most fitting to say that you are indeed in the banquet hall, but more honestly, probably the dining terrace. I didn't put any windows in, but I should have, because that's probably where the lighting is best. It comes in from three different angles. There are many tables to attend. It may not be the main dining table, which is, where you want to be, but you can't always start where you want to be. So you're probably there carousing with a couple of guests. I'm just gonna throw a couple of windows in super duper quick. Just gonna remodel the entire palace as one does. Um, and
I did
yeah,
send you a
you're
mini,
just
but I figured you probably didn't get it.
catching. Oh yeah, no, sorry. I'll get it in here at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're probably here on the terrace enjoying the twilight light that comes over the mountains. Um, there are many people here for many different reasons, from many different alliances, both Sele and Unsele. Who do you think you're talking to at this time? As you look around the dining hall and you're there, and people are sort of casually going here and there, it would be quite unbecoming to not be attended by someone. To just sit by yourself would be so unbecoming.
Oh no,
Who do you think
she's
you're
probably got somebody whose job it is to keep her cup full, and probably somebody whose job it is just to go fetch her things. Like she's got attendants from Avalon with her who go and do things. And yeah, she would probably be hanging out with uh probably someone from the summer court.
someone from the summer court? If that's the
Since
case,
summer
then
court,
perhaps.
her brother, he's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
probably knows people.
So, so we find you there. I'll get your mini in a little minute, but for now, uh, you are sitting on the terrace, enjoying some fine Fey wine, and you are currently attended by two individuals. There is a summer eladrin and a nymph of the summer court who have both come at the behest of the Summer Queen. The Eladrin is again a Summer Eladrin, well armed, very militant looking, but also dressed very elegantly. He's got, you know how people have that sort of almost like bandolier of fur. His is like that, but of golden leaves, and he has long blonde hair and a single long massive braid. Very elegantly dressed, but very sort of, the beauty of the Fae, a little cold, but a little warm at the same time. And the nymph on his arm is dressed in a beautiful, her skin is sort of wood. She's clearly a dryad. But she wears a backless dress of beautiful green leaves that just barely covers her modesty. But very elegant, very beautiful for the setting. And you're just sitting and talking and carousing. And these individuals are going to chat you up a little bit here. The Eladrin speaks. This man who you have come to know as Imester. Imester looks at you and says, tell me, Lady Vivian, what brings you to court? Last we'd heard that you were your magical studies afar.
Oh, I'd been realm hopping a bit, I suppose. No, oddly enough, I suppose it was just a bit ago The Queen sent me a message and suggested there was something interesting happening in Prismere and that I should come check it out. And lo and behold, we have an alliance and a war. Certainly.
Indeed, alliances are quite strange at this time. The Lady of the Carnival's opened her doors even to our closest enemies, it seems, but neutral grounds being what they are.
Interesting. Who'd have thought it would be Zabylna who could ally the Seelie and the Unseelie? I never thought I'd see the day, did you?
And we may still not see it. Well, it's happened in history, but, well, some say all this talk of Iron Fae is merely propaganda for some larger, more fun plot.
You know, that sounds like
Well,
typical chicanery. And that could be fun too.
as long as it's
Overall,
fun,
it was
he raises a
awfully
glass.
good stuff. I haven't seen him that angry since, that thing with Titania a few seasons back.
Which one?
True.
And he sort of lets out like a very polite laugh. The nymph will speak. This is an individual who you've come to know as Nemorin. Nemorin speaks, and she says, "Indeed, stranger bedfellows, but as you say, Vivian, one thing is to be certain is that the Green Court is up in a start. They've completely disappeared from court altogether, bandied together and drawn blades. Surely that is cause enough for concern that Oberon's uprooted his entire court to go to battle." And the Summer Court sort of gestures and says, "It's fair, but perhaps another trick, another ploy to piss off his dearly beloved."
No. No, he's
No.
angry. He's angry. I know my brother's tricks. He's for real.
Well, he is your brother. Well, who's to say that the emotions that ring most true half the time in the Summer Court are not anger in and of itself? It is a time of passion, and what's more passionate than anger?
I don't know. A good roll in the hay.
Nemorin sort of like says, "Couldn't have said it better myself." Incredible. As you're sort of sitting there, you see, what's your passive perception? As you're so busy engaged.
Because I don't remember off the top of my head. 16.
16. As you're sitting there, one of the court's attendants approaches your table. A strange individual that looks very back up street, very lanky, very butler-esque, but has almost like the appearance of a humanoid sloth, but very well dressed with a sort of brown penguin suit jacket. Big yellow eyes, approaches, and he says, "Pardon the interruption, good guests. Lady Vivian, if you'd be so very kind, the Lady of the Carnival herself has requested you attend her at the main banquet table."
Vivian will grab her drink and say, "I will see you in a bit, yes?"
The nymph and the Summer Eladrin both look a little like, they look at each other with like surprise and shock, and not like negatively so, but like, oh, like that's a big deal. And Imester says, "Well, of course, we'll have to be catching up with you later then, Lady Vivian." And Nemorin just sort of like gives you like a little wink of like, good job, basically. And a goblin will come and take your drink and put it on, and like follow you behind you and such, so you are not encumbered with such unnecessary trivialities. Of course. You enter the banquet table and you see it's attended by many people, Winter Eladrin, Bullywug, shadier mercenary-looking types, all manner of strange individuals from here and far, both of this plane and the next. And sitting at the head of the table, seemingly having just arrived and being seated as the whole table is sort of standing in respect for her, she sits and as this table as well. You also see sitting towards the near head of the table is a rather someone who's been making waves, who just sort of appeared at court and immediately was bestowed the favor of the Lady of the Carnival. It's this gentleman in very, very fine nobleman's wear, very masculine with a sharp grin and a crown of horns, sort of sits next to her in attendance. Nobody's really sure who this mysterious visitor is, but everyone's desperate to find out. But the Lady of the Carnival sort of sees you as you approach. She says to you, Lady Vivian, if I'm not mistaken.
The Lady of the Lake sends her greetings. Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course, it is. It's been some time since I've had a member of the Spring Court attend. The Summer Court is. They quite like to attend all of the Sele's needs up front, but, well, spring has its own charms. Please, please see.
Here. Sit down and.
Yep, you sit down.
I mean,
the man with the green eyes, sort of like.
Obviously, I will wait for her to sit. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Oh, she would already be sitting.
Okay.
Like she sat, and then you kind of came through. So yeah, you sit as one in the most cordial, following the rules of elegance, and courtliness. The individual sort of talks to the person next to him at length, sort of. Slightly uninterested in the conversation. You'll catch a glance from him every now and then and a wry smile, but he seems to be talking to this Winter Eladrin, perhaps even flirting with her. To which Zabylna does not seem to mind too much and seems more interested in you, as various fairies come and fairies and goblin attendants drop off all of your goods. She says, so Lady Vivian, you are something of a unique member of the Spring Court, if I'm not mistaken. You are indeed the heir to Avalon, but I do have an understanding that your studies take you further afield.
My father is Morpheus, and my studies have taken me to learn control of his realm.
I see. Poised and heir to two different places, it seems. I wonder who's more easy to replace, an immortal Arcfair or an immortal god of dreams?
I don't think either of them are really ready to step aside, so probably nothing we need to answer anytime in the near future. You're making waves, though.
I am trying. This business that no one seems to wish to speak about is perhaps our undoing if we do not move quickly. Even when time is so strange here, well, still things must be done.
I've been sent to assess the threat, and if need be, you'll have the support of Avalon.
Support of Avalon comes with you.
We're part of the Feywild. If the Feywild falls, I assume it means Avalon would fall also.
If it is indeed a part of the Feywild, and the last time I checked, it does have grounds here. It is good to know that the Lady of the Lake has great wisdom about her still.
In truth, she's been bored for about 100 years, so she may just be itching for a war, but nonetheless. You've managed to get the...
Well, she has been... Please.
You've managed to maybe proctor an alliance that no one thought would be happening anytime soon. That's impressive. It's the
Well,
kind
to
of
be
thing
completely
we're-
frank, to be completely honest, the Sele court has been much more amenable than the Unsele. I think those who need to know do know of the threat. It's just, well, we Fey are so very fickle. It's difficult to bring everyone together against a common foe. Oberon runs through the wilds madly, like the Wild Hunt itself. The Wild Hunt is nowhere to be seen. The Summer Queen wishes to rally, which is excellent, and the Lady of Air and Darkness lashes out in her own terms. It's simply a matter of bringing everyone together. I have my plans. I hear that you have attended quite frequently, per your father, the lands of Arborea.
home as much as Avalon.
It's home. And you, I hear, carry the title of Dreamweaver.
I think I'm still growing into it, but yes.
I have a plan to unite this Feywild that we might defeat this incurring enemy, one that we have not really faced such things before. It's a bit drastic, but when has anything in the Feywild ever not? If the Spring Court lends its, if the Court of Spring lends its support, and the Lady of the Lake is interested in throwing weapons at people again, as she once did, we perhaps have more to discuss. Would you care to perhaps attend me in more private settings?
I would love that. I think we'll get more done than in a more public setting.
Couldn't agree more. And she will stand, to which everybody at the table rises in respect. She'll nod at different individuals at the table. And she'll meander off. But oh, where is the opulent, without a doubt. She'll take you outside the palace, and you guys will perhaps wander about her gardens. Seems
That
like the
sounds
thing to do.
wonderful.
So you walk out to the beautiful gardens where the standing stones lie, the spring runs through, the rose garden is a beautiful setting where you two simply walk and you attend Lady of the Carnivals. She says, I hope you do not feel disarmed. I have learned a great deal about you from my various sources. It just, not intentionally so, but you see, my work, my pursuits, sometimes people appear to us, much like how they say on the material plane, fate and the gods send things as needed. It seems that when research calls and is pushed in the right direction, the right person appears. And I think you might be the right person.
I would have been disappointed if you hadn't done a little bit of homework as to who I was.
It pays to know who sits at your table.
These Iron Fae, they exist. And they represent a clear and
Very much so.
to the fair. To the Fae.
Indeed. I have had one of those Iron Fae's corpses in this very palace, and have examined it myself. I am quite powerful, but even my skin burned under its touch. They are not proclaiming their namesake for the sake of propaganda, but that they truly do possess our weakness within their very flesh. It is a threat to all who call themselves Fae.
That is all we needed. All right. Tell me of the
Pragmatism,
plan. What are we
a
doing?
rare trait. I do appreciate someone who's down to business. Well, you know what? First and foremost, I want you to make a persuasion check. She is meeting you, and she wants to know if she feels that she can trust you.
Fair enough. It's the Feywild. She might shouldn't.
Yeah, might be willing to risk it. Things are desperate enough.
That's not bad. It's a 14 on the dice. Let me see what my thing. Oh, 24.
There we go. She looks at you and smiles and says, I hope I'm right in thinking, Vivian, but I feel I can trust you. For the information that I am about to grant to you is quite sensitive. And if it fell into the wrong hands, it might make things worse than better. You see, what we have before us is a war. A war where we have a nation united, and a war of scattered allies. And in war, what it comes down to is who has the biggest stick. And my goodness, they have already quite an advantage in their very existence, let alone their technology. We of the Fae do not care much for technology, we care for magic. And so I hoard magic. I am hoarding weapons for if the alliances do not work out. And I do not suspect they will in time. So, I shall push democracy forth with the iron hand of war at its back.
I can respect that. The Queen of Avalon is not
They did.
unfamiliar with war.
No, that's. I hear she's not. I am glad. Oh, hang on. I don't know what he just did, but your mic is. I don't know if it's just me, but you're. Oh,
Better?
is it better now for everybody?
Yeah, may have loose
Yeah.
wire in there.
Yeah, loose wire.
No,
You're good now.
he put his phone on the charger and put it by the mic. Usually when I have the phone on the charger, I actually have it on top of my computer, which is like underneath wood and stuff. Because I think it creates a little
No worries, no worries. Yeah, all good now. All good, thank you. She says, I have my own acquisitions of powerful magics, but what is most prominent right now, and what is going to be the most prominent in the end, is not the personal arms of a group of warriors, even an army of warriors under my own beck and call, but it will, in the end, be about the democracy and the joining and alliance of the Archfey and their warriors, for that is where the true power lies in the Feywild, is the Fey itself. I do believe, truly, within my heart, that the Fey and their magic can outmatch this Iron Fey nation. That we have the true power of this plane at our beck and call, and if we use it, and we use it together, we can cast out these invaders. But they must stand united. And if there's one thing that the Fey do not have, it's reliability. We are creatures of whim. And so we must extract this alliance for ourselves, and then return it one day, perhaps. I pursue this, Vivian. Being from the lands of Aboria, I am sure you are not unused to prophecy. It's something I believe those denizens of Aboria value quite highly. We have ourselves a prophecy from the Witch of Fates herself. A prophecy that is said to bring the change of the Feywild to those who can complete its riddle. And through that riddle, I mean to bring the Sele and Unsele together, that we might defeat our enemy. It will change the Feywild forever, but it will save it from our enemies. I would bring you in, that you might help solve this riddle. For within it lies the mystery of the 4 seasons. We are working well towards it, but you are of the Spring Court, and more importantly, you are the Dreamweaver. Those 2 things together, I think you might be just who we require to help us sort out what this portion of the riddle may mean.
All right. And I guess I need to look at this prophecy. And are we going to Arborea?
Not quite, not yet. First and foremost, we think we've deciphered at least the first portion of the prophecy. Or one of the 4 portions, I should say. The portion of autumn. My closest advisors, my inner circle, if you will, perhaps you have heard of them, the Knights of the Scorched Earth, they did attend the Summer Games.
Yes, we've heard.
I'm curious, why do you laugh?
Because Titania... She's going to kind of look around.
You see in this moment, Vivian, with your high enough passive insight, she does look at you quite decisively. You do sense that she cares very much about your next words.
Titania is powerful. I've often questioned her insight. I regularly question her wisdom. I do not understand how she came to the conclusions that she came to. I would have come to different conclusions viewing the same evidence, but then again, I am not the queen of the summer court, so perhaps the crown does something to your ability to think through logically. I'm laughing because she thinks herself wise. My brother gave up a crown to be her consort. I mean, she has something going for her, right? I might prefer you to share my opinions of the queen with her directly. But I'm perhaps...
And I'm sure you're quite aware... Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think there might be just like a little lag.
Yeah.
Or I might just be excited. But she says, I see. Rather unusual opinions to hear at court, and ones that might put you in quite a bit of disfavor if the wrong people heard them. I will take it as a sign of trust, then, Vivian.
You gave me one. I figured you deserved one in return.
I knew I liked you. Well, Vivian, your expertise, your skill, and not to mention you've been trained in magic by the Lady of the Lake and Morpheus, the God of Dreams. I would welcome you. Advisory, of course, as I'm sure your loyalties lie in one place or the other. But if you'd be so willing, I'd very much like to welcome Avalon's most promised daughter. And perhaps you might aid my Knights of the Scorched Earth in their pursuits of this prophecy in the unity of the Feywild.
I think I'd very much like to help in this endeavor.
Then, if that's the case, I don't usually trust quickly, but I admit you have gathered mine. You have put something in my hands as I have put something in yours. So I shall make you... I will not share your opinions of the most powerful Archfey, arguably, in the entire Feywild, so long as you keep my plans secret as well. And in return, we shall have ourselves an amicable alliance, and you may join indeed, my knights, and I shall grant you my gifts.
I hope this is an alliance we can continue once this unpleasant business of war is done.
We shall see. To my hope, I think you may be right. So, Vivian, you must meet my knights. But before you do, I must ask you a question. What does your heart desire?
Am I going out into the world? I could use
You're
some.
going out into many worlds, I suspect.
If I'm to be in battle, I could use some protection. I'm a little squishy.
Nice. Squishy, an interesting turn of phrase. But indeed, if you require protection, then that is what you'll have against magic or all things.
I think above the table, the whole little bit of AC, little bit of saving throw thing sounded great to me.
Then you shall have the blessing of protection. I do not know what above the table means, but you shall have it nonetheless. And with that, she grants you the blessing of protection, a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws. She says, and perhaps for someone of your station, one more. What else does your heart desire? Restorative capabilities? Emulate what a cleric can do? To become a slayer of giants, slayer of dragons, perhaps? A weapon of magic?
So this is, I don't know if this is possible, because it's something I'm working on. So I'm asking for a shortcut, and if it doesn't exist, then we can go with a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to gift the ability to pull someone into a dream and keep them there?
I don't know if it is a blessing or a charm that I can place upon you. It is something that I have the power to do, personally.
I've been working on it and have had little success. But the ability to take a waking person and pull them into the dream world and keep them there would be a very good way to keep people out of mischief.
Gnomes, could you stop with the lawnmower for a moment? I'm having an important discussion. Thank you. Sorry about that. Pull someone into the dream world and lock them there. You wish for the power to imprison your foes.
Or at least to
Jesus.
pull somebody off the board for a significant period of time. The dream world is a space I can control, which means if I need information or whatever, I can get it. But sometimes just taking someone off the board for an hour is a good deal.
How's this? What you ask for sounds more of a tool than a heart's desire. However, if it is that you wish for the power to distract, then perhaps I might grant you the power to pull from your very dreams the likeness of beasts, conjure them forth from your very mind, that they might distract and grant you the time to achieve what you wish.
I'll take it. That sounds interesting.
Then that is what you will have. And she's going to grant you the charm of animal conjuring, which will allow you to... you have 3 charges of this, so you can only do it 3 times, but you can cast conjure animals at 3rd level as an action. So 3 charges of conjure animal at 3rd level.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. Sweet. It's very well. And with that, we will say that as Tamlin and Brock and Jace are sort of completing their conversation at where we left it, the door will open and the lady of the carnival will enter with an Eladrin elf at her back. Would you like to finally describe exactly what you're... Oh, you already did. You already described your character, right?
She's dressed in cream and blush, kind of half Fey, half Greek. I don't know how else to describe it, but she's got sort of a toga-looking drapey piece here with almost this kind of scale mail, but not metal, like animal or maybe fish scales over one piece, but sort of a train sort of flowing behind her, and the whole skirt sort of flows and swishes as she walks. Like it's a very Lady of the Lake kind of vibe.
So as you guys are talking, Zabylna enters into the tower with this individual behind and says, I hope you're all getting well acquainted. And I bring to you our last and very valuable asset as you go to travel forth into the dark plane. I bring to you Vivian, the Dreamweaver of Avalon.
Gentlemen.
Oh,
Dreamweaver.
well met. My
Tamlin
name
bows.
is Jay Silverlong.
Tamlin bows with a flourish, but when he bows, he always kind of keeps his head up to try and make eye contact at the same time.
She winks at him.
But smile.
It's quick, but she winks at him when he does.
Zabylna goes, nice. Okay. She says, well, I shall leave all of you to get along then. But I believe that with the help of the warrior Tamlin, and with the expertise and magical knowledge of Vivian, I think that you will have yourselves some key warriors and experts that may assist you as you travel forth to unravel season's fall. You have your preparations to attend. You have each other to get to know. So I shall leave you now as I make my own preparations for my own travels.
Thank you for the support, my lady.
Of course.
A pleasure as always.
Good luck with your travels.
And good luck with yours. We all go to dangerous places. Let us hope we all succeed. And with that, she will leave you all, and will go do whatever an Arcfey does. I'm gonna go do Arcfey things. Goodbye.
As one does.
Arc face summer.
Yep.
Oh shit, man! Like hot girl summer.
By the way, Vivian absolutely still has a glass of wine. She will almost always have a glass of wine.
That's fair.
Battle. Good thing I have Mage Hand. Hold this. Okay.
Like
Yes.
Housewives of Atlanta vibes, kind of deal.
Like-
Housewives of
Julian and
Avalon.
Taylor
The nose on the nose.
Right.
yeah.
Is that some kind of focus?
At least you're not a housewife of like New Jersey
Probably.
or something.
Given where
Look,
Vivian's
this is
like,
a chalice of wine.
given the upper plane you're from, Vivian, given that you're associated with like the Greek pantheon, why? Yeah, a glass of wine probably. Is
Actually, that a chalice, considering that Lady of the Lake, Holy Grail, actually that's not
It's not far off.
not
I
off.
feel like there's a joke there, but I don't know if I want to save it.
As the goblin's leaving, he's like, I mean, I don't know if a good system of government can be established by ladies throwing swords at people, but whatever. I'm being oppressed! Meanwhile,
It's better than some you might imagine.
it isn't
need
the
to
best,
fire
but it's
that
what we
one.
have.
We need to fire that one. That one is rebellious.
A little too well educated.
Yeah. He's too woke, as the kids say.
Hail the tubes! Hail the tube!
Pretty soon he'll be going goblin mode.
Oh fuck.
Never-
Praise the great. Praise the great tube. I'm leaving.
I don't
Oh yeah,
remember
he's
for an
going.
archfey.
So, where are we
Oh,
going and what are we
dude.
doing when we get there?
Right.
Well, we were just discussing I don't know if I'd say good old times, but certainly times with Tamlin here. Are you a lady, miss?
If
I mean,
we're going to be
as nobility.
traveling, Vivian is fine, or Viv. I'm more casual than Court would. Look, there's certain things that are expected when you're the daughter of an archfey and a god, right? But I'm actually a little more casual. So yeah, you don't have to call. Please don't call me Lady Vivian. That's
Says the Greek demigod by the Lady of the Lake.
yeah,
Did
actually.
I
How
must have
casual here.
Lean over to Jace. Nepotism.
Nepo babies.
Yes.
Um,
But I'm
I'm sorry.
recently
It
gifted
sounded
at
like you
spellcraft,
said.
so
Oh, very well. It sounded like you said you were the daughter of a god and an archfey. Is that correct?
yes. My mother is Morgan Le
That is
Fay, who
very-
is Queen of the Avalon. My father is Morpheus, god of dreams. And my half brother is
If anyone
Know
wants
who
to
they are?
make,
Yeah.
if anyone wants to make history, so okay. Let's see. So for everyone here knows who no matter where, even you, Tamlin, especially you, Tamlin, know who Oberon is. And we can come back to that if anyone needs a refresher. But for Morgan Le Fay, history or religion. For Morpheus, that's religion for sure. And you guys can pick which one you're rolling for.
19 history.
All right.
Just roll
Okay.
history.
I'm going to religion. They're both the same for me. I don't care. Let's do
No problem.
Morpheus.
Okay.
Ooh, 17.
17.
A 23 history.
For who? Oh, for Morgan Le Fay.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Man.
So my two history checks, Tamlin and Jace Silverlong, you guys will know of Morgan Le Fay. Perhaps not the name Morgan Le Fay, but it's just been described to you that is the name of the Lady of the Lake, who is a powerful archfey. Probably one of the top 5 most important archfey in the Sele court, being the leader of the Spring Court. There are many courts, but the most prominent are the seasonal ones. And summer and spring are within the Sele court's domain. So Titania leads the summer court, the Lady of the Lake leads the spring court. So she is a very powerful archfey. Her domain of delight is known as Avalon. Off table, King Arthur. But she is said to be very mystical, very powerful magics. Some of you met some of her swan maidens, sort of her handmaidens, if you recall. But yes, a very prominent archfey who's the leader of the Spring Court, and that's pretty much it. That's the description. But as for Brock, who rolled religion, were you rolling for Lady of the Lake, or you said Morpheus?
Morpheus, yeah.
Yeah. You know that Morpheus is the god of dreams. He's the Greek god of dreams. He resides in the outer plane of Aboria, and he resides within a lesser-known pantheon known as the Pantheon of Olympus, which are known as Greek gods. And he's the leader of a small cabal of gods of dreams, and a very powerful but subtle figure in that regard. So that would tell you that Vivian is probably an archfey to herself. She is I think that speaks lengths. I don't think I need to extrapolate on that. I'm sure you can take it from there.
She has
Archfey and a demigod.
Yeah, she has like a pretty good pedigree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just a decent pedigree.
A lady
Yeah,
of
yeah, no shit.
significant upbringing.
Yeah. Well, I can definitely tell by that Lady Zabylna did not pull out any of the stops for this voyage. Hmm.
Oberon is
Well,
my older brother, and he rarely comes to Avalon to visit. But when he showed up raving about a hole in the Feywild and iron elves and speaking of alliances and war, he piqued Mother's interest. So here I
well,
am.
if you've come to aid in that endeavor, uh, we seem to be the only people in the Feywild that are actively fighting against that threat. So, welcome aboard. Has she made you one of the knights yet?
I don't know if I'm a knight or if I'm consulting or riding along, but I'm here to help.
Ah, I see. I see.
She
Too
did
good
the
for
thing where
us.
she gives you what your heart desires.
She did. She did.
Yeah, then
I'm a little hardier for battle now because I have to be honest, a lot of the stuff that I've done hasn't necessarily been involved in warfare.
Oh
This will be
dear.
my first war.
Well,
oh, congratulations.
I don't know how to feel
war.
about it.
I would just claim it to be what we will be facing. A lot of conflicts and battles to be won.
Is is that our charge then? Conflict with iron elves.
Well, uh, mainly to,
Very quickly, do we know
I
the leader of
suppose.
these iron elves? Can we just kill their leader? Like, is this something we could fix with a quick assassination?
Well, I mean, after we've, you know, I don't
It's
know. I'm kind
it's
of new to
bigger
the
than
game.
that. It's not just one person, I don't think.
I haven't exactly been brought up to speed. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't. Sometimes you'll have a particularly charismatic leader that uh, gets away with themselves, but behind the leader there isn't much support. Kill the leader, put in who you want, rebellion goes away. Just making sure it wasn't that simple. I'm perfectly happy to go kill someone, but if it's going to be longer, well, hey, let's do that.
Well,
Well,
we've definitely dealt them quite a significant setback, but I don't think we've quite squashed the situation.
right. From what uh Brock and the rest of the knights have told me, it's would seem that it's more than a simple dictator situation. It's a way of life. It's an idea that is spread across these people.
An
That,
idea.
pardon?
Huh. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Perpetual consumption. They consume more and more, and it's spreading into the Feywild. This is
Like a
what's got Oberon
virus,
so worked up.
Mr. Anderson. I mean, sorry.
Oh, he's
Oh,
talking about wars of extinction.
Well,
I was making jokes about it earlier, but truthfully, I've never seen him this angry.
who?
My,
Oberon.
yes, my brother.
Ah, well, that's that's crazy to hear, to say the least. But essentially, yes. When two opposing groups, when there is two opposing groups and one is vying for resources and expansion, it is only natural for one of the two to try to take from the others. and it seems that the Iron Fae are in that category.
Oh, so there's a physical geological loss involved with this conquest. Is that correct?
I would say so. The growing, and I have not seen any of this firsthand, but the growing industrialization that the Iron Elves are bringing upon from their fracture, it's complicated, but that growth kills and chokes the nature, the natural essence of the Feywild as it travels. And given time and their murderous intent, it is only a matter of time before they fully advance upon this world.
What do you mean by industrialization?
Well, Brock can probably explain it a bit better than I.
Even then, I'll have a hard time finding the words to explain what we saw over there.
Lana did leave
Oh,
notes. You've got like books. Seriously, she left Trixie with like books of stuff to look through.
miles and miles of concrete and iron and mechanisms that fly through the sky, and the air is poisoned, so is all the food.
Sounds
Yeah, this
dreadful.
thing called sugar.
I hate
That's-
everything about that. Let's stop them.
High fructose corn syrup they have.
Genetically modified food.
No. The
It's as if there was this better, more pristine nation to the north, and then this horribly corrupt nation to the south.
Well, you wouldn't be wrong in that assumption. But that is our charge.
Well, and not the only one. It's a charge.
So
Right now we're dealing with a prophecy.
my understanding is that we are looking through a prophecy, and once we fulfill all of the pieces, that will give us what we need to drive back the Iron Fae. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yes.
It's us or them scenario. But I don't know. I would like to think that they can be redeemed in some aspect.
Is there someone among us who specializes in translating prophecies?
Not in the slightest. But if you want to take a stroll across well, anywhere you want to go.
Oh, it's certainly not my domain.
Do we actually have a specific mission in front of us?
Yes.
I
We
know
are supposed to be heading to the Shadowfell forthright. I have an innate ability to find the thin points between the planes, and I will lead us there.
Oh, well, that's very convenient.
And once
Indeed.
we get there, we are doing what?
Once we get there, there is a sister carnival to the Witchlight Carnival that travels around the Shadowfell. We're going to find this carnival. It's run by another Eladrin elf by the name of Isolde.
Okay.
This
Isolde.
is Isolde.
As in
Oh.
Tristan and Isolde, yes?
Yeah.
There's a Shakespeare, and then there's also an opera, Isolde. I'm asking
Yes,
a
that's
question.
right.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
cool. Got it.
And this elf is in possession of a sword of note, the Nepenthe. Nepenthe? Do I have that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so we're going to convince this paladin to, or this person, individual, to give us their sword?
I believe so.
Why is this sword important? Do we know?
Not the slightest.
It's it's what Queen Zabylna's asked for. So
Oh.
I assume it's of
Certainly,
some great significance.
certainly. I just wasn't sure whether or not we knew what the significance was.
Not specifically, no.
No, but that does bring up a quite interesting point. We don't really know what it would be used for. As with many things, I'm assuming it has incredible magical power that could aid Zabylna in this quest.
That being considered, even handling this sword could be incredibly dangerous.
I suppose.
I suppose that's why we were tasked to do it.
Mm-hmm. I
Do any
mean,
of us have a bag we can toss the thing in? If we're concerned about it being dangerous, that doesn't necessarily mean one of us has to carry it back to Zabylna, right? We could just put it in a container.
I believe Trixie
back.
has one of those
I
Yes.
have
I
one.
have a
trick
bag.
bags.
Perfect. Well,
I wish Ryan was here to introduce you, Trixie, but
we take the sword, we put it in the bag.
yes. I mean, you know, wrap it up so that no skin to skin or skin to hilt contact can occur.
Sure.
Always wear protection, obviously.
Are we assuming that the person in control of this weapon is not going to want to part with it willingly?
I mean, I mean, we're all more or less. I don't want to speak for the lady and Tamlin here, but we're all trained, killers. We have experience with this sort of thing.
And I don't think that's entirely going to be necessary. I think as long as we make it clear that we're here on behalf of Zabylna, then that should hopefully make things a little bit easier for us.
I'm not opposed to dispatching of someone. I just find that sometimes it's actually sometimes killing people complicates matters.
But weren't you just saying that you are so ready to kill someone?
Absolutely.
You have no problem with it.
Oh, absolutely. But I'd rather not it be a problem for me later. Not that I can't handle it, but I'm lazy. Once someone's dead, I just want them to be dead. If I'm going to have to deal with them later, then whatever it is I'm going to have to deal with, I want to deal with it now.
Oddly relatable.
Tomlin kind of gets this warm smirk and he's like, and sometimes people can just be persuaded.
That was funny. You're a funny man. Yeah.
But true. Sometimes people can be persuaded.
It's good to be prepared for both scenarios.
Yes,
Indeed.
especially at the end of a sword.
So when do we leave?
Well,
Whenever we're done making our preparations, I suppose.
whatever those entail. I have no.
If you have any.
I have no fucking clue how to prepare. I have not got to shoot this fucking thing for ages, so I am quite looking forward to a fight.
Wait, are you just now getting back from the gym?
I've been back for like a week, a few days.
A week, sir.
Listen, not a lot has happened since I've gotten back. Okay.
So you just came out of a gym. I was just a blink dog.
Oh yes, I wanted to make that aspect or rather to make a relation between us. Uh I was actually under captivity after the Earth Khan or whatever by the Summer Queen. So we have a oddly similar
Oh,
uh turn of events that has happened to us quite recently.
somewhat of a small brotherhood then.
Indeed, indeed. Uh, we have to come up with a sub name uh for us.
And for
Like,
whatever it's worth, a week ago I was on the astral plane, so
oh, that's where these guys are from. Oh, you're not sorry. I'm not actually, well, I wasn't born a Githyanki. Uh but yeah, they're from there. So, yeah. See any of these out there? Ha ha ha. He
actually,
like smiles where like if he was a half elf it would be an endearing smile, but because he's like fucking predator, it's like it doesn't look as it gives off the wrong like
Vibe.
feeling. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
menacing.
yeah. It's like haha.
dreams include nightmares. I'm good.
Very well, very well. Wow. So yeah. Oh, I will. It's been a while since I've done this, but usually, for our newest members, we tend to have a bit of a initiation.
Oh, this sounds like a prank already.
Oh, it's not a
I was going to
prank.
say it sounds like a snipe hunt.
No, 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 nothing of the like. Brock, you can testify. I have also run other members of the Knights, the newest members, through an initiation process.
You have?
Yes, remember Scales?
I do. Scales.
I politely
Oh,
decline, but you're adorable.
yes, yes.
Yes. So, if you would be so inclined, I mean, you don't really get anything from it but bragging rights, but if you two would be so inclined, uh, we would like to assess your abilities if that would be within your purview.
Well,
No,
she says no.
I don't do
I
Don't
don't.
politics.
worry. I'll moderate. Make sure it's a fair 2-on-1 fight.
Again,
Yeah, a fair.
respectfully, I don't do politics. However, I assure you I can have your back in a fight. If this is a problem, of course, you're welcome
Alright.
to bring it up with the Lady Zabylna.
Oh no, no, no. See, this is a strictly knight's matter. You see, we would just like to know what we are going into the fray with, and
I
I'm sure
understand.
a lady of your esteem is completely capable. It's just that we haven't seen anything.
I understand. My skills are largely in illusion. Pretty skilled with illusion magic, pretty skilled with enchantment magic, the whole dream thing.
Oh,
But I am the heir to the throne of Avalon, and no, I will not take a test.
oh. Well, with all due respect, my lady,
If this is a
this is an
problem for
Avalon.
you,
No, 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 no. I'm just saying.
I decline, and if it's a problem for you, tell Lady Zabylna that you don't want my company, and I am fine with this.
She's gonna give
But
you
I don't
nightmares
do
for life, dude.
politics.
That's completely unnecessary. I'm just saying it's a little bonus. So
I understand.
we'll be over here.
Very well.
Tamlin very good naturedly misty steps across the room.
Ah, little bit of teleportation, eh?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
The courtesans of the summer court were nice enough to teach me a little of the arcane artistry during my time.
How intriguing. Well, you seem like a quite peaceful fellow. I would understand if you didn't want to, you know, fight anyone or anything.
Oh, shall we cross swords for sport? I'm all for that.
Are you? Well,
Or how
Well.
else would we train?
I could not agree more, my friend. Well, I suppose in the age-old tradition of the Knights of the Scorched Earth, I will escort you to the front courtyard.
All right.
Follow me.
Goes.
What did I miss?
Jason's picking fights.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna have a little
Check.
scuffle.
trying to redeem
Well-
himself for Scales.
The initiation. Scales didn't
The initiation.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now that we got Trixie back, if
Mhm.
Trixie's with us,
Oh yeah, that can happen like before we
Off
leave
screen.
or anything.
or before you leave
I'm
her.
here, but I don't feel like putting my video on because I have to hold the phone up to do that, and I'm just not going to do that.
That's fair.
That's perfectly fair. So we'll say in this moment, as Jason Tamlin are like, let's fucking do this. Trixie, you've been, or actually, no, we're gonna go to like a little independent. Actually, this is where Zabylna went right after dropping Vivian off. So meanwhile, in the library where Trixie is oft found this last couple weeks, Trixie, you as usual are buried in your books to do with Aboria. And as you're well engrossed in study, you are going to be approached by Zabylna herself. And she is going to say, "How fares your search, Triswin?"
I think it went pretty well. I don't have any notes here, guys.
That's okay.
It's going good.
Sean, the librarian, tells me that you have been deeply enraptured with the plane of Aboria. You believe it has foundation to what we seek.
That's one of the planes. I think it has potential, yeah.
Well, let me just say this, Triswin. I am not a great believer in destiny or fate, but nor am I a great believer in coincidence. I think your studies, I think you may be onto something. I don't know if there's anything that particularly points at it, but I would like to explore this avenue that you have been seeking out. And so I have called in... Books can only tell you so much, so I have called in an expert to do with the plane of Aboria, and to do with dreams, in fact, as I believe you were researching spring. That portion definitely refers to dreams oft not. So, when you're ready, I'd like you to meet this expert.
Okay.
Very good. You all, of course, will be traveling to the Shadowfell first, so your understanding of the Spring Court, I'm sure you could speak about it during your travels. But nonetheless, if you have time, please come with me. So you two will voyage to the Tower of the Tower of the Knights of the Scorched Earth. And there you are going to find two new individuals. You are going to see, first and foremost, you are going to see, apparently both of them are wicked beautiful, which makes sense. You're going to see a knight in shining armor, and you are going to see, I'll let them describe. Tamlin, why don't you describe what your character looks like as this new character enters the room?
Sure. So Timlin will be standing there. He's demeanor is very friendly. He's trying to make the rest of the group feel as comfortable as possible. But at the same time, he's also clearly filled with a lot of self confidence. He is human, but almost inhumanly beautiful. I compared him earlier to the male Snow White, in that he's just has like kind of this breathtaking beauty about him as far as facial symmetry and his build, etc. He's got this gorgeous black, uh, kind of loose, curly, wavy hair, and these very uh, capturing dove gray eyes. Um, he's, uh, of I guess what we would normally consider ideal stature. Pretty athletic, broad shouldered, about 6'2". Of course, uh, perfectly gorgeous skin, etc. And he is decked out uh, pretty. Um, he has weapons and armor about him that look not only very useful, but are also kind of very ornately decorated. He's very kind of showy and impressive looking, in a very artistically beautiful kind of way.
All right, Trixie, first and foremost, you see a idyllically beautiful, perhaps even supernaturally beautiful human and knight at that. And secondarily, I'm going to say Zabylna didn't come in the room, but said, "You'll want to speak with the woman Vivian. She's the expert you seek." And as you walk in, you will see who could be the only individual Zabylna references. Vivian, what do you look like?
So Vivian is 5'10", long, lean, lithe, built very much like a ballet dancer. So muscular, but not like thick.
Petite but strong.
Yeah. Green hair and that like 1940s kind of swoops over the eyes and come down, and shoulder length, very coiffed. Heterochromia, one purple eye, one gold eye, skin very, very pale, almost translucent, dressed in the colors of like clouds and sunrise. Um, and she's fey as fuck. Uh, she's very, yeah, she's clearly fey.
Excellent. So you enter Trixie, and you see these two new allies to your adventures. And the rest of them.
Ah, Trixie. I was just telling Tamlin here about you.
Where are you now?
I was.
What did you tell Tamlin? Who's
He was-
Tamlin?
Just that you're this druid that's in with us. Moderately helpful. The usual.
I'll just stick my hand out to who I assume Tamlin is. Hello, I'm moderately helpful.
Timlin smirks, and there's a little bit of a twinkle in his eye, and he extends his hand. It's very nice to meet you.
Trixie, why don't you? Sorry not to interrupt, but I think equally important, Trixie. Why don't you give us a description of what you look like?
Yeah, so she's a wood elf. She's got long red hair, green eyes. She's probably just wearing like a comfy green dress. I don't think she has her staff with her right now, but she normally has a lovely staff with her. And she's got kind of like elk horns on her head, just like a little circlet. And yeah, I think that's it. She's super comfy right now, just hanging out at the palace.
Okay, excellent. And this individual, Tamlin, shakes her hand.
Nice to meet
So
you.
what? You too. Have they been telling you anything else about myself?
His smirk gains a little depth.
I
And
look at Tamlin and I'm just like looking at you from the corner and I'm like,
he kind of
shaking
gives
my head.
us a side glance to Jace, and he says, "No, not at all."
He nods with approval.
Right. Is Vivian here? Are you Vivian?
Silent spell, it gets us all.
She
Gets
will
everybody.
she will greet you and say, Jay said very little, but your reputation precedes you.
I have a reputation.
Indeed, you're quite well regarded in these halls.
Anybody that's been through what we've been through tends to gather a bit of a reputation.
We have, yeah, that's true. I mean, we even ran, that big spider that was telling stories about us the last time we left and then came back. So I guess there's stories about us everywhere. But Zabylna wanted me to come find you and talk to you about things.
Talk to me.
Aboria, if I'm understanding.
Oh.
She may have wanted you to speak to Brock, but she had suggested that you wanted to know about, to me, that you had wanted to know about Aboria.
Yes, I was looking into it, hoping it might be the place for me to go for part of the prophecy.
Well, we can talk about it now, or we can talk about it on the road, but I have passing familiarity with the plane.
Good to know.
Surely, you can have that conversation after our little initiation ceremony with Tamlin.
Absolutely.
Of course, of course. All right. So, if there is no further Knights of the Scorched Earth that will be introduced to us, onward.
The door opens and it is Boblin the Goblin. No, I'm kidding.
Praise the tube.
Praise the great tube. Tell you what, why don't we go to a break? Now that the party is finally be assembled, we will go to a break. When we get back, we will see what final preparations need to be made, and then we will begin our journey.
Yay!
Perfect.
We'll get there. We'll get to the Shadowfell one day.
Hey,
I
Tamlin.
hate not having my notes.
I was really trying to get access to the dream spell, and I just didn't know how to
Just
convey
wait till the break's
that.
done.
Just you
That
sleep.
I
Always
thought
This
lost
is
it
good.
out there.
Gone above the board.
You know
Just
what's
wait till the break's
interesting?
Vivian. Just wait till the break's done.
Yay!
Wait till the break's done.
I'm not sure what subclass you picked, or what have you, but I have played a character similar to yours, which was like a warlock, and it was like something of Oneros, basically the Sandman from the show.
Oh, that's very cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
So when you started explaining that, I got some flashbacks to that
and
build.
that's what I was looking. That's what I was looking for. That's sort of the kind of character that I'm trying to build, which I love the idea of.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, she's
Go ahead.
a hex pack, like a hex, not a hex blade, but the warrior or bleh. She's the fiend pact warlock. No, she's not. She's the archfey warlock and the aberrant sorcerer. That's what I am. There you go.
Oh,
Wicked.
hell yeah.
So
That's gonna be interesting.
mostly sorcerer, with just a little bit of that archfey pact, because mom.
Yeah, I mean that works too, because warlock is a very front-loaded class, anyways. So, 1 or 2 levels, you pretty much have everything that the class is gonna give you, and then you get little add-ons as you go.
Yeah, I've got 3 levels there, and everything else is in Aberrant Mind Sorcerer.
Mm.
So,
I've only seen Aberrant Mind, I think, in Critical Role. I think that's what Imogen
it is.
Yeah.
It is. I kind of like the idea of being able to use nightmares as a way to fight. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
playing with this character.
We can kill them over the course of a week by preventing them from sleeping and getting exhaustion.
That's actually viable, man.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what it comes to, okay. I ain't picky. These folks are coming onto our land.
But yeah, the dream spell on that subclass, it was like a unearthed arcana subclass, and essentially like you get all the things from like the show, right? Like the ruby and like the bag of sand or whatever. And you can do some cool stuff depending on how you want to build it. Like with the sand thing, and if you use like improved pack weapon, you can make like a sand weapon. Uh or you could do like
Just so pocket sand.
yeah, pretty much. The pocket sand turns into like I don't know, needles if you want it to. I don't know. Or like a great sword, like some crazy
That's
shit.
super interesting. That's super
Um
interesting.
yeah, and your I think one of your Eldritch Blast invocations, essentially it allows you to like do some other crazy shit with sand. But yeah, essentially you can use the dream spell. That's like a class feature that you can have the dream spell. But you can also like alter their dreams in a certain way. That's different than the normal dream spell.
That was
So
actually what I was trying. Like I said, that's what I was trying to angle for. I just don't. I apparently didn't really convey it very well.
I want to do an inception on people.
I'll get that. But yeah, I mean, the idea behind the character was that she could pull you into a reality that wasn't actually your own, and then control it.
Oh, Freddy Krueger style.
Exactly.
oh
Yeah.
like
There we go. Now you got it.
yeah. I knew what you were talking about because I have the experience with that subclass. I knew what you were trying to do from the jump. But yeah, like I didn't necessarily like the game that I played that in. I feel like it was kind of not the best game for it, and it was just like a few shots, not even like a full campaign, not a one shot, you know. But yeah, like it was so cool being able to, because I kind of played them like, you know, there was like this kingdom that where the queen like fell asleep or like couldn't sleep or something like that, so they called for help from like Oniros. Well, no, his name was Oniros. His patron or whatever was Morpheus or whatever. And yeah, so came there and like, you know, went into the dream and I could see like what was ailing her, and I was able to like, you know, fix it sort of. So it's kind of like a spiritual healing situation.
Yeah, so my concept for the character was something between Flatliners and Freddy Krueger. I don't know if you've seen either.
I haven't seen Flatliners,
The
but I know Freddy
Flatliners
Krueger.
is a movie that came out in the 90s, so it's really old. It's got an actor named Kiefer Sutherland, which you may or may not have ever heard of.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I
So it's
love
one
that
of
guy.
It's one of Kiefer Sutherland's movies from when like he was in the heyday. It came out shortly after Lost Boys. That's kind of when it was in
Oh,
his career.
wow. Yeah.
Um, and the whole thing, it was a group of medical students that were killing themselves, and then they were going into this dream space and doing stuff, and then they would like shock themselves back into living, but
Yeah.
they would be dead for X period of time, and in that period that they were dead, they were able to control reality a little bit differently.
They remade that movie not too long ago, right?
No
Well,
shit.
now it's kind of long ago. I think so. I'm
Okay.
90% sure because yeah, it's like the 2000s, like 20 teens vibe kind of movie.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I was going for with Vivian. Sometimes it's hard to describe and role play what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do. But yeah, so
I
that's
only
that's
knew. Yeah, I only knew because of my past experience,
Yeah.
and like I thought that was so cool. It's not a very good like that subclass was not very good at combat though. It so
again
yours that you have currently is going to be fucking phenomenal.
All you
the
need is Eldritch Blast, baby.
I've
Dude,
got
tell me.
yeah,
That's all
no,
you
I've
need.
got
Best spell
Hex,
in the game.
Eldritch Blast, Agonizing Blast, everything else is gravy.
yeah, I've got that. So I should be at least, fair.
You're
in
gonna
battle.
be like that's the best cantrip in the game as far as like
Yes, cantrip
Yeah,
is-
that's it.
damage
If you got
concerns.
Eldritch Blast and Agonizing Blast, throw a little Hex on there. Sure, Hunter's Market, why
Golden.
not?
Golden.
Fucking the rest is gravy. All the other levels are just for fun.
Yeah. But for a lot of warlocks it gets really, really not boring, but very repetitive because it's like,
Well,
what do you do this turn? I Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast.
but hear this though. Everyone complains, they're like, oh, the Warlock's boring, this is Eldritch Blast, blah, blah, blah. But hear me out. What does a fighter do?
///.
I would
What
like
does
to
a
attack.
barbarian do?
I
What
would
does
like
a
to use
ranger
my
do? What does
action
a
to
rogue
attack.
do?
I rage and attack.
//. Yeah. It's just a
Rogue,
different way to
sneak
play it.
attacks, attack,
Yeah.
sneak attack, barbarian,
even-
yeah, rage attack, attack.
Even in
So-
real life combat, like if you think about what people do, it tends to be pretty
Repetitive.
narrow.
Yeah.
Like people are trained to do certain things. You don't, the same guy that's out in the front lines is probably not flying a fighter jet.
Yeah. And then you see like the wizard doing like 17 spells in a single combat or a turn. And then you're just like, well, that looked cool. Must be nice.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same level, you've got rogues that are just like, all right, well, I'm going to hit you like 5 times in a row and get sneak attack on all of them.
And also
Rogues?
hear me out. This is also the thing too about warlocks. Is like, yeah, the wizard every turn is like, fireball, resilience, fear,
Wall of
fucking
force.
whole person, hypnotic pattern, and it's like, okay, great. Like if you do something unique every turn, it's not unique. But warlock, it's like Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, and it's like
And then
not
you cast
Eldritch Blast. Everyone's like, oh. I mean, you're using those spell slots for something a little extra special. They're like, what's going on?
And that's the thing. Like warlocks, you have so few spell slots or whatever they call it. That
Yeah.
when you
Mage
finally,
bullets.
yeah, when
Mage
you
bullets.
mage bullet. Wow,
They're called smite slots.
got it.
They really are.
But when the warlock finally casts like one of their leveled spells, oh man, you're like wow. But you got to make sure that it's a very crucial like spell that you cast, like fucking game changing. And if it doesn't work, then you're just like, well, I guess I'll go back to Eldritch Blast.
Well, that's why you never take a save or suck as a warlock, because you have
Yeah.
like 2 spell slots per
they
combat.
have to work. They have to.
They have to do something. You know,
Anything.
anything. If you take whole person doesn't work, you feel like an idiot.
I'm gonna spit my food out, dude. Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
that Warlock was set up to be the best of your control casters, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Like-
they're like not at all.
I feel like that's not
cast
where
a
they
damage
shine.
spell. Yeah, you cast a damage spell, or like some other spell that you have for like RP reasons. Then you take a short rest and you get them all back. You know.
Yeah, like the Warlock Arcfey Pact was largely for color.
Mm,
You love color,
Listen, it was
color or flavor?
both.
both.
I prefer
Yes.
good tasting food to good colored food.
Was it tasty or was it aesthetically pleasing?
It was both.
Nice.
Experiencing a little bit of synesthesia. These colors
just-
taste great.
I just felt like, we should have someone who had an Arcfey patron in the
Mhm.
Feywild game. Like that didn't seem inappropriate.
Ryan has been begging for a damn Arc Fae Warlock forever.
I thought that's
Yeah,
what Desire was. So
Well, I don't know what Desire was.
neither do
No,
I.
that was a bard. That was a bard,
Oh, that's right. She was a
Was-
bard. Shit, no wonder.
right?
Yeah,
Or
she was a
and
bard.
something else.
I think she did
Probably a
have
bard and a
like
warlock.
one level of Archfey Warlock or something like that. She never used it though.
Yeah.
But
Desire
yeah,
was, you gotta love like hey, no shade to Nikita or whatever, but like she had this like Bard of Eloquence, expertise in persuasion. Like you could roll no lower than a 10 on any roll. Was rolling like 30 every single persuasion check, and this was her persuasion. Hey, can I
Oh
can
my
I like
god.
can I get in? Can I go through the door? That was it. I was like, give me something.
Yeah. It's like, how do you inspire them? I don't know. I sing the song, I
tip
guess.
I tip my hat every
Like,
time.
Or we
you know how
somehow
Aubrey-
left Trixie to do the talking and it never worked out. 'cause
Yeah.
It worked out sometimes.
You know how
I always
Aubrey
thought I
Plaza
said
talks?
the
It
right
works out
thing and then I
surprisingly a
rolled
lot.
shit.
You know how Aubrey Plaza talks? That kind of deadpan fucking.
Yeah.
That's exactly how fucking Nikita's fucking inspirations and shit.
Yeah. No shade to her, but fuck, man, it was hard. It was hard.
100% how
It was hard to
works.
watch the most charismatic being that ever walked the planet have 3 word sentences
Maybe that's
every
what
persuasion
being
check.
charismatic is, dude.
I will
It's like-
play a bard again, and she will be awesome eventually.
I'm down. I love my bards as long as they can bard, you know. Okay, so we're back at it again. You guys have a shadow voyage to attend. Sweet. So I have 2 things that I want to get up to before we move into the next stages. The first of which, and this will just happen during the time it takes for you guys all to get prepped, but Jace, you will be summoned quite formally by Zabylna to her
After our
throne.
initiation ceremony.
Oh, you guys want to have
They
an
want to
initiation
have
ceremony.
a spar.
They want to have a spar. You know what? We're gonna do the spar first. We gotta do things in due time.
I was just telling them while you were gone that like I have not had a chance to shoot this bow in fucking ages.
That's fair. Where would you like to have your duel? Before the whole court?
Tamlin, you can decide.
No, you know,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So, who called up the duel? Who requested the duel?
Jace did.
It's not a duel.
Jace requested the
it's
duel.
an
Initiation
ceremony.
The initiation. So, by
Who does
ancient decree of how dueling works, is that I believe the challenger gets to pick the location. However, the challenged gets to choose the weapon of choice.
Oh, of course. Here, hold on. Let me get my dueling glove. You got to
There you
slap
go.
him with this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. You do have to slap him. Yeah, that's right. Brock actually has
Sorry
him
about that.
on his. Yeah, you got to slap him across the face with your dueling glove.
Okay, I don't mean anything by this, but per the
He's gonna touch
ancient
his
laws. Wah! No, I'm just. I just like. You know,
Smack
like when
the
somebody
shit
has
out
a
of him.
glove in, like halfway, and the fingers are just like out like that with no hand in it. He like
It's like-
raises the side of your face with the glove.
The fingers are in like the wrong
Yeah,
slots.
Com-
You get 2
completely
fingers
not-
and like your index finger.
it's just like a flappy hand, pretty much, in the glove, and he like grazes you. All right, you have been challenged.
All right. How is this meant to happen? Are we simply, working out each other's strengths and weaknesses, that sort of thing?
Well, it's not to the death.
Could you imagine? Spilner's like, Jace, come on, man.
Again.
What do you?
I
what do you
just
want me
got
to-
him.
What do you want me to do? And it'll just be a until someone yields.
All right. Are we restricting it to physical combat?
Physical, morphological, methodical, magical, alchemical,
Philosophical.
sensual, whatever.
Oh god.
Oh, am I right?
Tamlin's a beautiful man.
I was beautiful once.
Okay, Grandma.
How many times do I have to say sorry, Jace? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking? Oh yeah, you did it.
Yeah, it's your fault.
You died first, so that was your fault.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know why I thought I could like catch that disintegration ball and control it.
I don't know why you blamed your intelligence for doing that.
It was definitely
You
intellect. Well,
It's
no,
my intelligence fault.
pointed at your
remember-
headband.
Remember that chair that I sat in, and I like
Oh.
saw fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see Jesus, but you know,
You kind of saw Jesus.
when
Could've,
you get
I don't know.
like catapulted across
You saw
time and
Socrates.
space. Yeah. What was that guy's name again? Do you remember?
I do not know off the top of my
The
head. I can find
grand
it though.
philosopher, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I can find it for you if you want. But I don't know it off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I'm not that good. I mean, I am most of the time, but that's ancient lore.
No, you're.
All right, you
ancient
doing?
lore. Yep. Are
Okay.
you landscaping?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, sorry. I guess I got a little caught up. There, I don't have to adjust the water level anymore. Haha. Okay, where are you doing?
Courtyard seems fine.
Yeah. Nice open space. Not a whole lot of collateral damage.
Not in the middle of the teleportation circle.
Is
Okay.
that what that is?
On this corner, way, I don't know, like 200 180
Fucking
pounds, something like that.
250 pounds. Some shit. Fucking stock.
The most beautiful man in New York City. Tamlin! The underdog new to the palace. And in this corner, the prodigal son returns. Jay Silverlord! I want a nice, clean fight. No kicking in the groin, no poking in the eyes, no messing up Tamlin's face. It's fine for Jace. He's not beautiful anymore. Fight!
He cries a little bit before he goes into it. Alright. Initiative.
Yeah, roll me some initiative, you two. Let's try the fight.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah, mine neither.
Dude, what? We rolled the same thing. Well, my
Roll is-
dice roll.
Or who's got the higher dex? Jace probably does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got 12. Okay. I thought I rolled shit, dude.
All right, Jace, you're up. Fucking get her.
All right. All of this is just going to be non-lethal damage. You
Yep.
don't know that though, Tamlin?
Okay.
Or you as the character, I guess, don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I think that would just be like assumed.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
fight
I
to
mean,
the
I-
death.
You
Right,
did specify earlier this wasn't to
It's
the death.
specified that it was to death, yeah.
Huh?
Just fight.
Okay. Cool. So I'm going to yeah. I'm just going to pull out the bow and get ready to shoot for the first time in a long time. And as he's about to shoot, you see him sighting in and everything. You probably get your guard. He teleports 10 feet closer and to the left of your position.
All right, so like that.
Yep.
All right, so as Jace pulls back his bow, almost in tandem with him pulling, it's like he pulls the fabric of reality open underneath his feet. As he pulls the bow back, so does he, almost like a door closing in front of him as he pulls the bow back in tandem and just sort of appears across the way, just teleporting as he shoots.
And I will take a shot with the Sylvan Well-Made Bow from Frog, or the Nimbus. Natural 20 for a total of 33.
Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, Tamlin, you're like, what the fuck? And then an arrow just buries itself in your chest. Go ahead and roll damage.
Fuck.
Luckily, they're like little boxing glove arrows because it's non-lethal.
Little blunt ones.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it was a non-lethal crit.
Okay. I don't know.
No, fuck.
I don't
I
know
don't-
how your crit damage works ever. But it rolled.
Just perfect rolls. So in normal D&D, you just double your damage dice. In my game, that second set is always perfect.
Got it. Okay. So that would be I rolled an 8, then I rolled a 3, which would be an 8, right?
So just roll it normally. Just start by rolling it normally.
I did.
Let me roll.
It rolled crit damage, so it says 17. So 17 damage in total.
So 17 damage in total. That's with the crit.
It rolled it as a crit. So.
Did you roll it as a? Where is it being rolled? So I can go take a look.
17 is 2d8 plus 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it gave me another die.
Okay, so we'll take the 8 and the 6. Well, I mean, the 8's a perfect roll anyway, so we'll just use this just to make it easy. So 17 damage, yeah. So your crit is 17. So Tamlin will take 17 damage.
All right. And then he pulls back again, and same thing. He's gonna get 10 feet to your 10 feet closer to your right.
So like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Moving
then
closer to the paladin. Bold.
I like it. It's sporting.
He takes another shot. Not as good. 18.
This.
Miss. Holy
Tamlin
shit.
learns quickly. You take your first step is sort of like a little bit of a dirty trick. You know, you just sort of like pull the bow back and just suddenly appear 10 feet to the right, which he wasn't expecting, and you fire in that perfect shot. Tamlin immediately adjusts. You can tell that he is a warrior of no small amount of skill, and as you teleport to try and get him, he predicts your movement immediately, and the shield comes in front of him and protects him.
Nice. I like this. I like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he's just going to fucking bail. Fucking
Fuck!
35 feet back. Yeah.
Cool moves, and then goes.
I totally thought that would do it.
Yeah, I thought those 2 shots would get him for sure. All right, Tamlin. You see the ranger after taking a bit of a sucker shot at you, and then you protecting, turns tail and runs for his life. What do you do?
Okay. Hang on, my thing was non-responsive for a minute. Okay. Let's see. So how far away is he?
He's
Just out of reach.
Probably just out of reach. He is at 45 feet.
Okay. Let's see. That's fine. I'm going to.
Get over here.
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited.
Get over here.
Let's hang on. Sorry, I'm new to all this.
No problem. No problem.
Let me hold person.
Ooh, whole person. Deal.
Whole
speaking of-
person.
Yeah.
Whole person.
Well, this
All right.
person.
I'm fucked.
Yeah. You're like, okay, got him now, and then you suddenly feel the bindings of magic around you. Make me a wisdom saving throw, Jace.
Oh shit. Oh jeez.
Oh, geez, Rick. It's gonna be a short fight.
Oh no. 14.
Oh, I don't think so.
Save is an 18.
Damn.
You're running, and you feel like oh, I gotta push through it.
All right,
And
then I will advance toward him, of course.
and then he just starts walking towards you, and you're like,
Fucking juggernaut,
Oh.
dude.
And can I use so? That was my action, right? So can I then use my
You have a bonus action left.
can I use my vow of enmity for my bonus action?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're about
So-
to find out.
So Tamlin, in this quick moment, as you lay your vow upon him, what do you say? You lay this vow of enmity upon him. How does that sound?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Real easy. Have at ye.
All right. As you say, "Have at ye," you declare your enmity upon this foe, and that he will fall this day. It is vowed. And Jace has been marked by a paladin of vengeance.
Fuck, you're a
Oh.
Oh no! Oh no, bro!
I fucked
Um,
up.
And you realize in this moment you are facing a paladin who specializes in hunting down those who would run from vengeance.
Oh shit.
Speaking of which, it's your turn. What do you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
You got it. This is gonna be a Shikayate moment.
Yeah, come on, say the incantation.
Shikayate. No, that was almost an 18, but I rolled a 2 for
Sweat
a total of
drips down Jace's weird Githyanki head as he realizes this next turn's gonna hurt.
Do I got anything? Hold on.
No, that's it, man. That's your turn. That's it.
Does your headband glow as you think really hard about how you're gonna get yourself out of
dude,
this?
dude, it's shedding dim light in like 10 feet around me.
Yeah, he's thinking so hard about how much it's gonna hurt, how he needs to get out of this. That it starts to vibrate on his brow. Tamlin, it's your turn again. You approach. You close the distance.
Yes, I'm gonna close the distance.
10 feet.
Use
No.
my-
Please, please.
Use my bonus action to cast Spirit Shroud.
Oh fuck!
Dude.
As you hear the of the metal getting louder,
You're a
Tamlin seemed like such a nice guy, and suddenly on the battlefield becomes this dark warrior as a shroud of 10 feet of what damage type do you choose?
Let's see.
Be gentle.
This will not be gentle. Oh, this is a concentration as a reminder, Tamlin.
Yeah, I got it. Necrotic.
You're going straight for the soul. Okay.
And this is what's the spell again?
Spirit Shroud.
It's Shroud.
Spirit Shroud. Spirit Shroud, right?
Or Spirit Shroud, yeah.
Got it.
Like 2
Okay.
feet, right?
And you suddenly, as you feel your movements being released, Jace, as the whole person ends, you're like, oh, good. And as you start to move again, suddenly you're this shroud of pure spiritual energy begins to envelop you. Have fun, Tamlin.
Yeah. And
You have advantage.
Yeah, I will go ahead and attack.
Does your expression change at all, or are you still just smiling?
No, he's smiling. He looks,
This is fun.
he looks very friendly.
Fucking just a happy guy.
He's got the same look that he had on his face as a blink dog. He's just super happy.
If anything, he's probably like more friendly now because this is sports, the game.
This is
Right.
sports. Dog with a
When you do
bone.
what you love, you never have to work a day in your life.
One more time. This is radiant, necrotic, or cold. Which one?
Right or necrotic, I said.
Necrotic. So he's like approaching. He's like do, and suddenly like the spirits of the dead sort of like appear juxtaposed from behind him and begin to sort of wrap around the 10-foot area around you. Jay sort of clawing at your face, and
I will attack.
please don't
So
hurt me.
I don't take damage from the Spirit Shroud.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
It's coming.
25 to hit with the longsword.
That'll hit. Yep, that'll hit. Go for it.
Fuck, man.
Oh, it's just gonna hurt, bro.
You did this. You did this.
You asked for it, literally.
Weapon of certain death. What the fuck?
What the
That's
fuck?
wrong, dude. Vivian, can you tap in?
So it's going to be 11 plus 1d8 of radiant damage.
radiant damage.
11. So what is that total? I'm sorry.
Hang on.
He's rolling it.
Oh. So 19 altogether.
19. Are you gonna smite?
What's the? Well, that was the smite.
No, that was just the spirit shroud. You want to do like a divine smite?
Oh yeah, it's improved divine smite.
Oh, you were just rolling that. Okay, gotcha. Now
Yeah,
roll the spirit shroud.
That's what I was rolling. I didn't roll the spirit shroud yet.
Yeah, go for it. Always.
Okay, so 19 plus whatever the fuck you.
19 radiant and
25 altogether.
All right.
what 6 necrotic?
Yeah,
radiant.
6 necrotic, 8 radiant.
So this
11.
blade comes down. It comes down with a shimmer of radiant energy and carves into your back. And as it does so, all of those undead spirits sort of circle around his blade and like tear extra down your back. You did improve divine smite, but do you want to do like a regular, proper divine smite on top of it, Tamlin?
Oh sure. What's that? Another D8?
It's 2d8 at first level, and you can upcast it to a maximum of 5d8 using your spell slots.
Oh.
Just give me the total damage at the end of it.
Can I do that if I already?
If
Like,
you
do I have
hit,
that
you can
cast?
do it, Paladin.
All right. I like
It's
it.
not considered a spell. You use spell slots, but it's not considered a spell.
All right. So 2d8.
Yep, so first level divine smite is additional 2d8.
So that's another 14 of radiant damage.
On top
Ooh.
of 25.
Okay,
So
that
So you're going
is-
to take 39 points of damage, sir.
Okay, a total of 39.
That's right.
I'm gonna
Alright.
use my reaction
Uh-huh.
called Spectral Defense. When I take
Ooh.
damage from an attack, I can use my reaction to give myself resistance to all of that attack's damage on this turn.
Incredible. So that's going to be... that's going to be... You're going to take 19 points of damage total, if that's the case. So as Tamlin's blade comes down, literally ignited with radiant zeal, and these like spirits of the dead sort of curling around his blade to add to it, you go, oh fuck, and you turn around just in time, sort of like running your hand down the edge of your bowstring, and then pulling back and opening a small portal into Avernus, where some of that radiant energy is funneled into instead.
Mm.
But he still gets you over top of it, and it hurts like a motherfucker. Would you like to do your second attack, Tamlin?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
You have advantage.
wait, so is your resistance just for that specific attack?
So it says when you take damage from an attack, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance to all of that attack's damage on this turn.
Yeah, so it's the one attack. Cool. Okay, what'd you roll, Tamlin?
19.
19 hit, Jace?
Check. Yes, it beats it. Just barely.
It beats it. Yeah, roll damage, Tamlin.
That one's 7. And then do any of the other ones apply again?
Yeah, you apply Spirit Shroud, you apply Improved Divine Smite, and then the regular sword damage.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's just base. And then if you want to just like put a little gravy on it, you can do just like a Divine Smite as well.
Just 7 regular, 2 necrotic, 1 radiant, and then
This guy's a powerhouse.
Paladins.
God, I gotta play a paladin one day.
10 more radiant.
Okay. He comes in for a second attack that will do 20 damage, sir. Jace.
20 damage. You got it.
So you would have taken a total of 39 damage this turn.
Yep.
So the damage that you have, he just deals back to you with a second slash.
And then some.
Incredible. Is there anything else you would like to do, Tamlin?
Yeah, I believe I'm out of.
Out of juice. All right, Jace, it's your turn. As it's your turn and you've taken these 2 blows, you feel your legs suddenly tugged at, and you look down, you see those necrotic spirits sort of like hold, like sort of what's it called? Sort of disincorporated, sort of like coming up from under the ground, sort of holding onto your leg, which means that you're going to have a You're going to lose 10 feet of speed at the start of your turn because you are
Okay.
inside the Spirit Shroud.
Do Rangers have a feature that stops this?
I think it's Revised Ranger ignores difficult terrain, which isn't what this is. And I think they get one later on as a standard Ranger that does the same thing. But this isn't difficult terrain. This is reduction to your speed.
Got it. Okay. Cool. In that case, I will.
Oh, do it. Pull out, bring forth the sword.
That wouldn't be the best move, but fuck. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll put down the I'll stow the Sylvan Well-Made Bow from Prague / Nimbus, and I will equip Sir Talabar's tiny sword.
So in this moment, Tamlin, as you enter into melee, Jace prepares to enter melee as well. Rangers are known to have some skill in melee as well. He puts his bow away, and you see he draws from his side the most beautiful, ornate rapier you have ever seen. The only issue is that it's only about this big.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Small,
Wait till you
but
see
small,
how
but
beautiful.
shaped well.
I think it's about average size.
It's slayed
Some would
many
say
an
above
olive.
average.
Some would say it's above average. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But it's so well crafted.
But it's so well crafted. Long and slender.
I get that a lot. All right, let's
They call him Jace Slenderlong sometimes.
yeah. There's a lot of names, but we'll keep moving. Okay.
We're gonna keep moving forward.
I will equip that, and I will use my bonus action to enact Nature's Veil to become invisible magically, along with any equipment I am wearing or carrying until the start of my next turn.
Fantastic. As you draw these blades, very much sort of like a little John Wick style almost, or whatever spy movie, as all of these like undead spirits are hurling around you, Tamlin and Jace. He uses that moment to sort of disappear. As one goes past him, he sort of washes and vanishes as he does so, disappearing into Nature's Veil.
And I'll use this movement. Well, yeah, I'm within 5 feet of him, right?
Yeah.
I assume, because he just fucking whacked the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack with Sir Talabar's tiny sword.
All right. Go for it.
Does he become visible when he attacks then, or no?
No,
No, he's invisible till the end of his turn, I believe.
it's a special.
Very nice.
Ranger shit.
Yeah. All right.
You'll have advantage, Chase, because you're invisible. Can't see you.
Indeed. That's a lot better. How does 26 sound?
26 hits.
Sweet. Alright. Oh, let me use that piercer to re-roll that.
Go for it.
That's better. That'll be 3 + 6 for a total of 9 piercing damage.
Okay, reduced by 3 is 6.
Okay, 6 damage.
Wait,
Also,
reduce?
your speed is reduced
Yeah.
by 10 feet.
Heavy armor master.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a fucking tank. Alright. And I'll move to his right side.
Wait, do I get to
Okay.
react to that attack?
It depends on the reaction.
I have one of my traits is like Soul of Vengeance. Hold on.
Soul of Vengeance. You ready, Jace?
Soul of Vengeance. Because I have the Vow of Enmity on him, I get to take a reaction attack if he attacks me.
Okay, go for it. It will be a straight roll because you have advantage and disadvantage. But yeah, so he's like looking sort of blindly, and you like get a jab in, Jace, and then just sort of like almost like something is propelling him more than his own will, as if like the will of vengeance itself suddenly lashes out at you.
Dude. This guy's sick.
22.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
God damn, boy.
So
And
that's
you move to his right.
8 slashing,
That's his right.
6 necrotic. Three and 3 radiant and so 11 radiant altogether, 6 necrotic, and whatever the
17.
I said. 8 slashing.
What's the grand total?
So the grand total is 17. 25. Sorry.
25 damage to you, Jace.
All right, I'll use a reaction again
Have that.
to have that. Yes,
That'll become 12.
12. Got it.
You may continue your turn, Jace.
Got it. In that case, I'll stab him again, or try to, attempt to.
Durr!
Hopefully.
All right. Yep, go for it. You have advantage.
That'll be a 25 advantage.
Hits.
Nice.
All right. That'll be a total of 10 damage.
Alright. Minus 3 to 7, right?
That's right. Or that doesn't work on magic weapons, does it? I think it does specify. It says non-magical weapons for heavy armor master.
Oh, I don't know. It's piercing, slashing, or I know that. Here, hold on.
Taken from non-magical weapons. So yeah, you would not be getting the reduction for this
Oh,
particular.
okay. I've taken it, I think, 3 times, so I'll take 9 more off.
Cool.
Um,
Yo, your health is 169. That's awesome.
yeah.
Nice.
Dude,
Very nice.
nice. Bro. I like everything about this guy.
Thanks.
This guy's awesome.
I can't react for a second time, right?
No, 1 reaction per turn, unfortunately.
Whew. Thank God. It's getting hot. Yeah.
Hot.
So after that second attack, I will use the rest of my movement to get out of this shroud, and if I can make it to that tree right there.
Which tree? The tree you're closest to? Or the
Yeah.
one that Tamlin's closest to? Yeah, okay. So you are a little slowed by the undead spirit shroud, but 15 feet will get you there. You want to spend your last 5 or 10 feet? Keep going?
Yeah. Is it an action to hide?
It is, unless you're a rogue. Or you have a special feature.
Cool. Yeah. I'll do that then. And yeah, I will end my turn there. That was movement, action, bonus action.
Got it. As you turn, Tamlin, you're looking around for Jace, and then he sort of appears next to the tree, again, sort of John Wick style, as nature's veil
Sorry,
comes
my
to an
next
end.
turn.
Oh, into your next turn. Okay, never mind. So Tamlin, you're not. So no, you're aware of where Jace is by the sound. So you heard the as he's moving through. So you know he's by that tree somewhere, and you can probably go over there and take a disadvantage attack if you want, which will straighten out because of your Vow of Enmity. But you look at you, but then you want to move your leg, and you're like, ah! And you look down at your leg, and you realize that Jace's slashes hamstringed you a bit. So you've got a 20-foot reduction to your speed this turn.
Okay. And how far away is he?
He is 30 feet from you.
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know.
No, he knows, unless you're hidden. He's aware of where you are. He just can't see you.
Ooh.
Can I cast at him if I can't see him?
Usually the spell will say if you need to see him or not. In most cases, it does say like
Oh,
if you
yeah,
can
yeah.
see the creature.
Hold on.
Yep.
It's either if you could see them or if it's just somebody within range.
Yeah, that's usually what it'll say at the beginning of the spell.
All right. Oh. Oh. Okay. I'm going to Misty Step. over to where he is.
Okay. You are just going to. So he looks at you, Jason. You're like, haha, I hamstringed him. There's no way he can. And he disappears in a puff of smoke and appears before you immediately as the spirit shroud envelops you both once more.
He's thinking like, there's no way. There's no way he knows. There's no way.
I got him. I got him. I
He
fucking
doesn't
got him.
know. He doesn't know where I'm at.
Doesn't know where. Oh my god. And he's kind of like looking through you a bit and kind of like into your general area, but he can
He
hear you.
knows I'm somewhere around there.
You're somewhere there, yeah. So if you want to attack him, you can, but it's a straight roll because your advantage will cancel out his disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to. I don't think I want to cast anything else right now. Okay. Yep, I will go ahead and do a straight attack.
Got it.
Is Spirit Shroud concentration?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you would have to make 2 concentration checks.
That's true. If you'd be so kind,
Sure.
I'll
I'm
make me 2
sorry,
concentration.
for,
I just
for
now thought
being
about it.
damaged.
Yeah, you got damaged by Jace. So DC 10s, I believe, because they weren't over 20, either of them.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
So I'm sorry. How do I do concentration check?
Just a standard con save.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and they just have to beat 10. You said, right?
Yep, beat a 10. Or half the damage taken, whichever was higher. In this case, it will be a 10.
20 and 16.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Okay. And then I rolled a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll
And the
hit.
tree next to it.
And that's going to be 11 slashing damage,
Alright.
3 necrotic damage, one radiant damage, and so 15 total radiant damage, 3 necrotic damage, and 11 slashing damage. For 39,
How much?
29 total.
Okay.
Now I attack again.
Yep, go for it.
Oh, there you go. That one's only a 12.
That one misses.
That one misses. He swings a little wide. His sword gets stuck in the tree, but carves about halfway through it.
And then I am out for the round.
Got it. Jace, we're back to you, my friend. What's the play?
Right. Definitely don't want to be here.
As you appear from invisibility, I believe at this point.
He's like
Start of your-
dumbfounded. He's like, how the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and then
Your companion was a very impressive artificer and paladin as well, and you know that Lana was a much more skilled artificer than paladin. She had many abilities as a paladin, but struggled often with her oath, and maybe that affected her upfront skill. But in this moment, you see a fully pledged and committed to their tenant paladin and see their might before you, and it is staggering.
Indeed. In that case, yeah, I will get the fuck out of there.
It's fair. That's fair, son.
As a matter of fact, he's gonna take a jab at you.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Yeah, so he's gonna do bonus action, turn invisible again.
Okay.
And then he is going to stab you.
Make an attack. You have advantage.
Hit.
29 to hit.
Hit.
Yep.
Reroll that. Okay, 8 damage.
Well, this is Piercer, right?
Yeah.
Does Piercer give the reduction? Or... Sorry, keep going. I'm gonna figure it out for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, if piercing. Oh, you mean
Yes,
the?
sir.
Because I know there's Piercer, Crusher, and Slasher, and they all have different things.
Yeah, piercer does, but we decided not because it's magical.
Once per turn, when you hit a creature that attack that deals piercing damage, you reroll one that did. Oh no, that's the special feature of Piercers, is that it you can reroll. It's not. I'm thinking of Slasher. It's where you get a speed reduction. Sorry, continue. There's no speed reduction from this.
Oh, I see. I was wondering what you were talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
All right. So yeah.
Soul of Vengeance. I'm gonna reaction attack.
Go for it.
$24.
That'll hit. Buddy, yo, pal.
You're also short of feet, Jace. Just so you know.
Short.
A feet?
Oh.
Because you've got 3 size, you only have 2 feet. You should get a third one. Quick, take tough. Quick.
Add 34 health.
Alright, so 8 slashing, 7 necrotic, and 13 radiant for a total of 28 damage.
You, my friend, are dangerously close. KO.
Okay. Oh, Jace, you feel your body beginning to fail you, your vision blurring, and definitely bleeding. Non-lethally, but bleeding nonetheless. What do you do?
All right. So yeah, after that, because I chose to attack, I'm gonna teleport 10 feet backwards.
Okay.
And can I do a draw stow?
So technically, you can only draw or stow once per turn for free. If I think I missed that in your first draw stow.
Okay.
If you want to spend your bonus action, I'll let you do both.
I already spent it.
Okay.
You could just drop it.
But you can just drop your blade and then have a draw available, because dropping it is just like for free, no action required. But a free action, yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'll kind of
You can also throw, because it's considered a dagger, right? You could throw it.
Yeah, I'll do that. That'll be a nice little.
So you disappear behind a portal, and as you come out the other side, you send it.
Fucking Vaxil Dawn this shit.
Yeah, this is Vaxil Dawn this shit. All right, go ahead and roll an attack at advantage because you're invisible.
Got it.
I love the dagger throw aesthetic. It's great. 21.
21.
Hits.
Nice. Total of 10 damage. All right. And with the rest of my coin, because I made a second attack, I'm gonna teleport 10 feet to the left.
Like that?
Yeah.
So you slash, teleport back, throw it, and as you do, you teleport to the left. You have speed. Starts to turn within 10 feet of you. It has speed reduction. Some of those spirits still sort of linger around your legs, giving you 10-foot speed reduction. So you have 25 speed left.
Okay. I'm thinking because I teleported, he's not gonna know where the fuck I'm at.
He can hear you. So think of it like this, like, you can't, it's audio-visual, right? The visual's gone, but he can hear you running through the grass and breathing heavily and screaming in pain and all of that shit.
Okay, in that case, yeah, I'll run my full movement away from him.
Just follow the trail of blood.
Follow the blood.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
The non-lethal blood.
The non-lethal blood, follow it. Says the spirit of vengeance within you. Speaking of which, Tamlin, it's up to you again, buddy.
Yep. How far away am I?
You are pretty sure you're about. You are 35 feet to get into melee.
Okay. Let's see.
Do you yield chase at any point here?
See what he does.
Okay. I bet I can tell you.
I bet I could too.
You know how warlocks are sort of a one-trick pony?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's gonna have to be it, right? I'm gonna have to Misty Step again, probably.
Yeah. So you misty step right in front of him. You're a little out of melee, but 5 more feet will get you there.
Yep, I'll go ahead and take it.
And then you charge down Jay, so you appear and disappear and miss, then you charge in with blade drawn. Spirit Shroud, the undead spirits following you as you go.
Oh, crit!
How much health do you have left, Chase?
Not enough.
Yeah, I think that'll do. Tamlin just non-lethally, so we'll say in this moment, Tamlin, you know your enemies pretty well. You see Jace, like, you can hear, you can't see him, but you can hear his haggard breath. You see the blood on the ground. You can hear the wobble in his step, and you just sort of turn the blade around to your blunt. You know, fucking necrotic spirits form around it, and radiant energy pulses up your arm, and you just boom in the side of the head, and Jace falls backward.
Oh.
KO. Finish him.
All right, and with a very warm and kind smile, he'll resume his very friendly demeanor, offer an arm down and another arm to support it, and in a very genuine way, be like, "How'd I do?"
No, this is what happens. As you're laying on the ground, Jace, Tamlin like basically lays down on top of you and goes right to your ear and goes, "Welcome to the show." No, I'm kidding. Very friendly, helps you up. Maybe the undead spirits vanish away, and with a very friendly smile and a helpful hand, offers to help you rise.
He
Well, that was fun, chap.
he takes your hand, gets up from one knee, and he says, I think I have a feeling you'll do quite well. It's a pleasure to have you aboard.
Kind of, maybe a little much puts an arm around him and kind of starts leading him back to the group.
Yes, I need to put some ice on this.
And I'll say at this point, as you turn around, Jace, you're and as the day grows long and all of you feel tired, and perhaps a long rest is required. Perhaps the last point of order of the day, you do see Thinnings, the humanoid sloth-like creature, but very elegantly dressed, very eloquent in his demeanor. The personal butler of Zabylna says, "Jace Silverlong, you have been summoned by her ladyship."
I'm on it.
Hopefully, it was nothing to do with that performance.
I would hope not.
Indeed,
I
much preferred the conjurer, and he walks. You see, he does look a little more bummed since Nithroyal left. He's been a little bummed ever since Nithroyal left.
Poor guy.
He likes wizards. Fantastic. So you can head off. And hey, really quick, this is what Vivian's mini looks like, guys. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
That's
Isn't that cool? That's a great. That's Fey as fuck.
With the spotlight on, totally.
Sorry, they cut the budget.
Oh.
Okay. Jace, you head to the throne room. A very formal invitation you've received from Zabylna. You arrive there to see Zabylna, as usual, sitting upon her throne. Nothing but her Ygric, her familiar assistant. And you approach sort of battered and bruised, and she looks at you with sort of a cocked eyebrow and says, "Making friends?"
Oh, the best.
I see. I admit I skipped the classical schoolyard, so these rituals are a little beyond me. But whatever goes. Yes, the door's closed behind you. It seems whatever she has to say has some importance, at least to her.
Mm-hmm.
She says, Jace, you have returned to me. You were gone for a very long time, and it was at great personal expense that you served me, for formalities of all things, too. You did not fall in battle. You fell to a game of cards, and yet you hold no ire.
I've had quite a long time to deal with these frustrations that I have experienced. But that does not mean that I am not regrettable in my decision. I gambled that day.
And you gambled on my behalf, and it cost you greatly.
That it did.
And yet, you still are here, and you still wish to serve.
My lady, it is not any of your doing that led to my temporary sabbatical. It is my own, and this accursed will to see what lies beyond.
I'd say you're either undyingly loyal or a great fool, but, well, we can't be a fool with that headband on now, can we?
I think I'm putting that quite to the test.
I have great need of people I can trust in my court. Not necessarily for their feats of strength or agility or intelligence or ability to speak or skill, none of these things. I require around me now more than ever, as I admit to you now, Jace, the trials of this war, I feel myself slipping at times. I need noble hearts by my side. And if you do not hold malice in your heart towards me, and you would wish to continue to serve in this court, I have elevated Trixie and Brock as my personal advisors, and Jace, I would do the same for you. You saved me and Prismia from the Hourglass Coven. You put things right in my domain. You have served me well for a long time, and you have gone through much self-sacrifice at my behest, and I think you a noble heart.
That is endearing to hear you say, my lady.
Would you accept in such a position as I've bestowed upon your friends, to advise me, to be my closest counsel?
My lady, you have allowed me to see the light of life. From where once I was dreary and tired for this world, I now see an immense array of colors and perspectives. And for that I am ever grateful. So I will accept this position. But one caveat to that.
Yes.
Just because we saved you that fateful day when you were frozen, it does not mean that we are indebted to you for all of our lives.
No. No, Jace, you misunderstand. It is I that owes you. You saved my kingdom. You saved my kingdom. You saved my subjects within. You saved me. You saved the secrets and relics within this place, and you have protected my own identity. I owe you immensely. And if ever there was a time that you wished to leave, I would understand. But if you wish to stay, then I would have you at my side. Much like Trixie and Brock, I'd have you at my right hand.
And I would accept that position with open arms.
You see the immense relief wash over her, quite visibly. She has never been one to hide her feelings. She stands from her throne and she approaches you. And she says, "Then I bestow to you, Jay Silverlong, the title of Duke of All Horizons. For there are many worlds that bear many horizons, and you know them best."
Will hold this position with the utmost pride and integrity in service to you.
She actually, like, very slowly, and very kindly, puts her arms around you for, like, a hug. And she's this woman of power and strength and magical might, but she feels very small in your arms in this moment. And you feel vulnerability there, that she's seems to be struggling, and this was a relief for her.
He will close the distance and embrace her. And while he's there, he'll whisper to her, "Zabylna, I cannot begin to imagine the unworldly stress and the weight of decisions that lie at your shoulders. But just know that things will get better."
She retracts. Not too far. There's still sort of that closeness and proximity. Or maybe you even still have your arms like on her shoulders or whatever, if you wish. And she says, "You are right. And though these struggles are difficult ones, you need not fear. There is not a thing in this multiverse that I would allow to crush me."
And that is the Zabylna that I know and love.
She kind of like looks up at you a little, Make me an insight check.
19.
19. Beats it. There is hesitation there, definitely like a conscious hesitation, but you sense under that as she is a creature of unfettered emotion, being an Arc Fae. Very hard to hide the invitation. But she's trying to.
He will look into her eyes. Place a hand on her cheek. And he will kiss her.
Ooh, big ball moves. Biggest balls in the Feywild. So you look into her eyes and you see these dark but green eyes sort of looking at you, looking you in the eye. You put your hand on her cheek and she takes that, she kind of looks at it, and there's this moment of like, kind of what's going on. And as you lean in, you kiss her, and she, it's sort of that, like, it's almost like that high school movie where she's like, where like he wants to kiss her and she's nervous, she's like, oh, I can't, like, but what people think, and then he kisses her and then she kind of like falls into it and they just kiss. It's kind of like that, except without words. And you kiss her and you have this moment where your lips are locked. You have this moment of like, did I make the right choice?
Yeah.
And perhaps she's having the thing like, is this the right choice? And then she kisses back. And there's a kiss. One that is not necessarily gentle and like tender and soft, but one that starts that way and then kind of begins to evolve. And then she kind of almost pushes you back a bit and says, no, wait. This is Jace, that was
I am sorry.
don't be. But this is unwise. This court is quite dangerous right now. And there is a very jealous creature in these halls.
Indeed. I will bid you adieu, my lady. And he'll give a slight bow, and then he'll turn his back and walk out the doors.
You walk. As you approach the doors, you do hear her say, Jace.
Turns around.
And you'll see there's that look of like her head spinning clearly. And she's like looking for something to say. And she just sort of, thank you.
He smiles, gives another bow, and then he turns his back and walks away.
Okay. With that, Jace, you've been presented the title of the Duke of All Horizons. You are now not only a Knight of the Scorched Earth, but you're one of her closest advisors now, alongside Brock and Trixie. Incredible. Incredible. And more than that, you have stolen the kiss of an Archfey, which I think is worthy of some kind of reward. So I'll tell you what. For the next 2 days, you'll have advantage on all romantic-based charisma checks against like non-immortal beings.
Cool.
Stole a little bit of that sensual magic as you walk away. Okay. As the night, well, there is no real night. It is eternal twilight in this realm. But as tiredness comes to all of you, and Tamlin is shown to his room within the tower, and Vivian is shown to her room within the tower, you may all go to sleep, gain a long rest. But we are, of course, I think this is the perfect time that we are going to move to the Dreamweaver herself. For when she dreams, it is unlike any other. So, Vivian.
Hold on, I'm closing my door.
Okay.
See, this way, if dogs bark, it's not as much of an issue.
I have to hear about it. No problem. So, Vivian, as you go to sleep, you know, for you, dreaming is very vivid. It is very connecting. You probably feel more powerful when you are asleep than you do when you're awake at times. But not as of late. But perhaps that might change. As you sleep, you enter into your personal demiplane. It is known as the Realms of Slumber. These are, over the last 100 or so years, with the help of and assistance of your father, you have developed these various demiplanes that serve as your personal domains, your domains of delight. As your domain of delight within the Feywild does not reside within the physical plane, it resides within the metaphysical plane, where the various Fey and mortals go to dream. And where you go, so too goes your Realms of Slumber. And as you reside there, you feel a presence, a familiar presence, presence of your mentor and your father. The God of Dreams visits you, as he is wont to do here and there. And he speaks. Vivian, my daughter.
Father?
How fare you in the Feywild?
Well, there's to be war.
War. Unfortunate. For my domain does grow slightly smaller to some of my compatriots, as nightmares oft take those who dream when wars come. But I do not come to speak to you now of violence, daughter. I come to return to something to you that you lost long ago.
Huh?
Indeed. For there was a time where you held this item, and it helped you so, and you've been diminished since, but since I have found it. So keep it close as you go on this new journey, and know if you ever wish to see me again, daughter, you need merely let slumber take you. Enjoy your realms. And you feel that presence sort of fade into the starlit dark of the realms of dreams. And here you see all the many little mortal spirits lingering here and there, those who think themselves great and mighty lords, and within their own dreams sit atop high palaces above the stars, some of them in cloud-scaped palaces, some tyrants, some great democrats, some philosopher kings, some warriors of many, but all lords within this realm of slumber in their various dreams. And all tried to wear, foolishly, the dream sovereign crown. For any mortal who wears it will find themselves locked here in eternal slumber. Only an immortal can wear it and bear its power correctly. And as you look into your hands, you see this beautiful crown, more of a circlet, but nonetheless, it's sort of tiara-like crown that has faint blue moons and stars that dapple along the side of this crown. You may add the Dream Sovereign crown to your inventory and attune to it. So while you're resting, you can either cast the Clairvoyance or Dream Spell, and they use your DC.
Neat.
And as you awaken, that very same tiara will sit upon your brow.
Above the table, does Vivian know that Grisette's is there? Or is that like a secret?
Ooh, this is interesting. Make me an insight check to see how your intrigue went.
All right, so it's an 18 on the dice. What am I rolling?
Insight.
Insight plus 6, 18, 24.
24. You know from being here that Zabylna has a certain fascination with demons. The architecture and design of the palace itself expresses as much, that there is a dark side to this Archfey, as there are to pretty much all of them. And this creature that sits at her right, who she seems to entertain and seems to entertain her, with a somewhat reluctance on her part that fades after a couple of words. You suspect a demon, and probably a demon of substantial power. But there's still mystery that shrouds this individual. So you suspect a powerful demon. I'll let you make a religion check to see if you can take it all the way home.
All right. Let's see. Changing the dice.
Okay.
Okay, that was a 12. And my religion is not great. Actually, it's not bad. It's 6. Okay, so 12 and 6 is 18.
18?
Yeah.
Fuck it, yeah. There are mumblings. No, not mumblings. During your study, and that sounds like you're proficient in religion, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you were studying religion under the tutelage of your father, you learned of not only bright and holy things, but dark and unholy things as well. And you know that there is one very famous demon lord who is said to bear a crown of horns, who is said to be the master and lord of indulgence, with dark ivory-like skin and a body and form that seems to promise both pleasure and pain. You have caught this individual in passing, and it is your suspicion that this is either a servant of the demon lord Grisetst, or perhaps Grisetst himself. And you make that connection as you go to sleep tonight, say. And if you wish to use the crown while you sleep tonight, I'll allow it.
Okay, so the crown is... I've got to look up those spells.
Clairvoyance basically allows you to create a scrying, for all intents and purposes, an invisible sensor within 1 mile of you. You can choose to either hear through it or see through it, and you cannot move it. But it could be anywhere within 1 mile of you, and it lasts for 10 minutes. So it's basically scry, but it must be within 1 mile, and it must be either sight or hearing. And then dream, I think you know how dream works.
Right, so if I said Grisette's, and Grisette's was in 1 mile of me, in theory, scrying would go to him.
Place you have visited. It must be a place you have visited or seen before. an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, or a location that is obviously familiar to you. So like if you wanted to do it behind a door that you're looking, like you haven't been there, but you know that there's a room on the other side of the door, you can do there as well. So it is about location. So you could pick a location. I don't think you could pick the sensor remains in place for the duration. It can't be attacked or otherwise interacted with. Yeah, so I don't. You could pick somewhere in the palace, but you can't pick a person.
That's okay. I'll wait till tomorrow night. I'll find out what I need.
Okay, understood. Now that you have your crown returned to you, and it was taken from you, stolen by some foolish mortals several decades ago, you have it back once more, and your powers have been restored to what they once were. Incredible. You awaken, and yeah, we got a little bit of time if anyone wants to do some last-minute prep before the Shadowfell, which we'll try and get to at the beginning of next session, see if we can get any last-minute prep done. Does anyone have any prep they require to do here at the Palace of Heart's Desire? Tamlin, I'm seeing a hand.
Yeah, I want to find my greater steed, so I don't have to do that later.
Fair enough. You make your way out to the courtyard. You did find earlier, awaiting there. Oh, come on now. You found this beautiful set of standing stones down in the courtyard as you did before. And you do know that standing stones are often utilized for the purposes of summoning or conjuring. So perhaps it helps conduit your magic. You go down there, you think upon your steed, who you have not seen for some time, and why don't you tell me what is summoned in the middle?
Sure. My faithful steed is a winged bull named Angus.
Hell yeah, brother. All right.
He's fuzzy, right? He's a fuzzy coo.
No, he's not fuzzy. He's very sleek, quite sleek.
Give me a coo. Fine, he's
a strong, sleek, horned bull with big, beautiful bird-like wings, enough to carry its incredible weight. Appears in the middle of the standing stones per the beckoning and summoning of Tamlin through his divine magics. This Fey spirit is called forth to serve. And as it speaks to you within your mind, Tamlin, it says, Tamlin, it has been some time, my master.
Yes, welcome back. I've missed you.
I missed you as well. Give us a hug around the neck.
Give a big hug.
Oh, that's good shit. That's good shit. So, what are we off to? Who needs defeating, or just, I guess, a kind welcome as well sometimes?
We're not quite sure yet. We're waiting to find out.
I see. It has been. What happened to you, my brother, my master?
Oh,
sorry.
That it was the strangest thing. You would have found it quite amusing. In fact, I was, for a period of time, a blink dog.
A blink dog? Preposterous. I know you favor the Misty Step spell, but a blink dog—that's a little excessive, don't you think?
At least. Can you believe it?
I cannot. Simply cannot.
Anyway, I'm back now, and after I repay my debt here, we will go find Janet.
Ah, yes. I do like Janet. She always gave me the best neck rubs and scraps from the table at times, even when you weren't looking. I mean, never mind.
All right. Well, tonight we rest. I believe tomorrow we're off.
Party. Oh, off. Okay, right. And with that, yeah, you have summoned Angus, the winged bull, to your side once more. Your steed is returned. Glorious. And the pond looks good again. Fuck, it doesn't. I'll fix it tomorrow. Looks like shit. The water's all uneven. Okay, is there anything anybody else would like to do around the Palace of Hearts today?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brock.
Yeah, I got something. I'm probably also gonna go out into the courtyard. you'll see that I'll be walking out with a baby phoenix.
Right?
Say, all right,
Getting a little bigger now.
we've been over this. When I let you go, you gotta come back to me. All right. This is yeah. I know. All right, ready? And go. All
Make an animal handling check.
right.
Wants to cuddle.
I need you to be a force to be reckoned with. 18.
18. You've been working pretty hard on this little trick with flame rule or whatever you decided to name it
Scorch.
instead. Scorch, right. For the time being, it is Scorch. You've been working, and lo and behold, you see Scorch fly off. You're like, okay, you got this part down. Come on, bring it on back. And you see that baby frisbee right back around and fly back to your hand and land in your hand and look at you with expectation.
Yes.
And it like flaps its wings happily, and a little bit of some sparks come off of it.
Perfect.
Happy little phoenix. Good job. So we'll say that, that Spark can now,
Scorch,
excuse me. Scorch can basically fly from point A, which is you, to point B, which is where you might say.
We got
back
there.
To point A.
Simple instructions. We did it.
You're basically
you're ready
be
for the
released
field.
and recalled. Simple though. You're still a very simple creature. But yes, can do like basically a release and return, a simple one.
I've never been more proud.
I've never been more proud of you, son. Good job. You're a man now. Incredible. Is there anything else for anybody?
I think Trixie just needs to get a tuning fork for the Shadowfell.
Understood. I think Thinnings would tell you, oh yes, the Lady Zabylna has been working on manufacturing one for these purposes. Tristawin, it shall be given to you when the teleportation is to commence.
And then I think the only thing, I might want to just get some more diamond dust, because I feel like we're going to get into some shit. So.
Maybe. So just pay out however much you want to give, and the resources of Zabylna are vast. She'll be able to get you what you need.
Okay.
Cool.
That's it.
Anybody else? Yep. Go to Jace. Tamlin. Okay. Everyone's ready to go. Oh, there it is. Vivian. There's always someone. You're muted.
I'm going to send you a very quick chat.
All right. In the Zoom?
In Zoom, yeah.
Huzzah.
I went to everyone. The follow-up I will change.
Interesting question. I don't think so. I don't think you'd know.
Okay. So the easier the easier way to get at what she was getting at would be like, I was thinking about it. Like, is there a way to make the DC of her spells more difficult to resist? Like, is that a thing?
You know that such things exist, but rare.
Okay.
Very rare. Very difficult magic. But I think honestly, as a matter of etiquette, you'd be surprised if she, especially how busy she is, that she is making you something of that caliber or making anything at all. Honestly, because she did already bestow upon you blessings and gifts and resources and such.
One of the things was like we were playing around with, well, do you think that like being able to summon the creatures was, and so I thought she was creating like a thing.
No, no, those were blessings that are placed upon you. So you
Oh,
now
that's what I was
have.
asking about. Thank you.
Oh, okay, got you, got you. No, that's something that you currently possess. Yeah,
Okay. Cool beans.
yeah, that was like a charm, basically. It was a magical charm that was placed upon you.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Cool beans.
No worries.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, if that is all, the party is the next. I'll say like in the evening, you are all summoned to the Standing Stones, where the teleportation is to commence. Some of you perhaps taking in the twilight world around you for maybe the last time for a little while, knowing that you are destined for a plane that is quite the opposite of what you behold before you, a place much darker. And there's also a winged bull following Tamlin around, which is cool. So, there's that. Yes, Vivian.
For this spell teleportation circle, do I have to do anything other than just see this thing to be able to recreate it? To like come back to it?
Oh, let me hang on a second.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I can only cast to another circle, so let's say we're
Oh.
someplace else and I want to get us back here because it fell to me to get us back here. Do I just need to see the thing and be like, oh, I can come back here, or do I need to study it for a second?
So, as you look around this Standing Stone creation, as you look at it, it's not wrote down in arcane signatures or glyphs or anything, but you do recognize that the formation of the stones, like where they're layered on top of each other and everything, is indeed a teleportation circle sequence. And if you spend a minute observing the ring, you can then gain the sigil sequence and return to the Standing Stones at any time per that spell.
I would like to, please.
And so you do. It only takes a moment. Fantastic. So yes, you can write down like the Palace of Heart's Desire. You have the teleportation circle now. Incredible. So as you're all there, you do see. I think why not? She will have summoned her spooky drow ladies because they're so magical and helpful, and maybe Nim too. Why not? Nim's there as well. I think from afar, you will see off in the distance, a couple of figures have come about to witness your departure. And where's the other spooky lady? There she is. These two will be like over here and over here, prepping the circle for it. And then Zabylna does indeed arrive on the scene, shall we say. I could just find her. There she is. She says, we're missing some... Oh, there he is. Says, very well. Knights of the Scorched Earth. I wish to remind you of what we are doing here. Seasons fall. The prophecy that will change the Feywild, give us the ability to bind the Feywild and all its inhabitants together to fight this threat. They will not join through politics. They are far too amused by their quarrels. So we must take matters into our own hands. You go now to seek out Autumn. Somewhere, I believe, to do in the carnival, within the Shadowfell, is the key to the piece of the prophecy that refers to Autumn. I shall recite it now as a reminder. Autumn, in its falling majesty, seeks atonement for past travesty, riddling to its careless fancy, deepening its corrupted fantasy. Because of my relationship with the leader of the carnival there is sold, seeking atonement and such. I believe this is the place to start looking for the key to Autumn. It may be the sword she bears, it may be something else. Keep an open mind. But if you could solve this riddle in the carnival, it will give us the first of 4 keys we need to bind the Feywild and send it forth against our enemies. So go now. Go to the carnival and keep your wits about you. The Shadowfell is a very dangerous and very different place than the Feywild. It operates in almost entirely opposite rules. Mind yourselves, mind one another, and be careful. And I will go to where I must and seek my own powers, whereas you seek yours. Good luck. She will approach Trixie and in her hand produce a metal shining tuning fork and hand it to her. This is, of course, this is for finding your way there again, should this fail. Or you might find yourself in far fields otherwise. I'm going to give you something else, Trixie. And she'll take your hand and she'll put another tuning fork in your hand. And she'll say, just in case I need you. And you may add a tuning fork for the Shadowfell, and you may add a tuning fork for the Abyss.
Oh no. Okay. Stay
He
strong.
steps back. Yeah, he steps back to the circle. Says, very well. I will see you all soon. Good luck. She turns her back to the party, and she brings her hands up, much like someone beginning to orchestrate, or beginning to command an orchestra. And from the ends of her fingers, magic, fey, and nature begin to dazzle forth, along with other darker magics begin to spin forth, and the standing stones awaken. In a massive coloration of teleportation, but somewhere within that color of Zabylna's own magic, you feel light and color seeped away, as if disappearing within a black hole. The shadow fell. You may all enter when ready.
As Jace is about to enter the portal and Nim is over there, what kind of have almost like a sadder toned face, and we'll say, if I don't make it back this time, just know that everything will be all right.
Okay. Sure.
He'll sigh and then he'll go in.
She just looks very confused. She's just like,
She's the only
not
one that
the.
doesn't know.
She's the brightest bulb. She's pretty smart cookie, but she's not also. There's different kinds of intelligence. Let's put it that way. Incredible. Okay, you walk through. Jace walks through. Horizon Walker, of course, first into the breach.
Have to.
Gotta be that way, man.
I'll follow Jason.
Right. In we go, I guess.
You begin to whistle like the 7 dwarves. And the bull goes, right! And everyone goes, what the fuck? as the bull talks. And goes into after Tamlin.
Vivian will follow.
Vivian vanishes. Trixie?
I'll just kind of Tip my head to Zabylna one last time, and then I'll head through.
She tips ahead to you, and she's usually so like fiercely sure of herself, but you sense I don't want to say doubt, but you do sense that unflinching resolve a little lessened as you exit and leave her behind. Party vanishes within, leaving the Feywild behind for who knows how long. Oh, where is it now? Oh god. Okay, here we are. Nope, that's not it either. Don't worry about what you're blah 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 blah. Okay, here we are. I'll just take the top off. Why not? Cut the top off. You all find yourselves appearing within a very dark, bleak tent. You all enter within. You find yourselves in a house of mirrors. It is a small tent, but there are mirrors all around you. And let's see here.
Oh, I'm gonna take a moment to look at myself. I haven't seen myself in a while.
Good. As you look in the mirror, you go like, let's take a look at old Tamlin. You go wandering up to one of those to take a little look inside. And as you do so,
Careful,
puts a comb out.
I don't trust these mirrors.
All right.
As you look into the mirror, Tamlin, you look back at yourself and, well, actually, I'm gonna roll for it. What am I doing? Yeah, you look into the mirror and you see like yourself look back at you, but there are like your flesh is gray, there are holes in your face, your eyes are melted out of your skull, and you basically see a zombified version of yourself looking back at you.
Ah, I dislike this place already.
Such a nice guy. He doesn't even say hate.
Canon,
no hate
Tamlin
in
has
it.
never sworn. Never sworn once in his life.
What a good
Only
guy.
the oath is
Only
his, that's the only that's his only swear.
That's the only thing he's ever sworn. Is his oath.
I would let this guy do my taxes.
I like it. I like it. It's refreshing.
Yeah, can I use my magic awareness in this tent?
Yeah. You sense every mirror has an illusion built into it except for one. The mirror that you all stepped out of has conjuration.
Interesting. But just the mirrors and only the mirrors?
Just the mirrors and only the mirrors. As you are here, it's the first time that you've been, other than the autumn lands, and even in the autumn lands, the skies were still of remarkable color to accentuate the autumn. You haven't been in a place, not even the Gloaming Court. Even the Gloaming Court had a sort of like a fairy tale aspect to the dark, where everything was hyper accentuated, where the tree branches looked like monstrous hands through the dark, and the moon shined past the big, beautiful gloam of the floating palace. And though it was dark and it was night, there was something remarkable and storybook and accentuated about it. But here, the candlelight flickers dim, the shadows are long. There's a nip in the air that is almost a uncaring cold that sort of just bites at the tip of your skin, and all the colors are just that much more dimmed. And the mania of the Feywild is behind you, and everything just seems so gloomy, so dark, so uncaring. Even the air itself feels thick with apathy, if it could.
I don't think we should sit in one place for too long.
You see a cow come
Oh,
to the cow comes to the mirror. Your cow. He's like a little stuck in the mirror. He like pops his legs there.
Ryan, I don't know if we ever definitively determined, but are there any specific planes that I haven't been to?
Yeah, I think we rolled for the different planes you've been to.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we said, was the Shadowfell one of them?
I cannot remember, and that's on me.
I'll tell you what. You want to roll for it now? See if you've been here before.
Yeah, sure.
Tell you what. Roll me. You're a fucking Horizon Walker. Entering and exiting the Shadowfell's difficult. So roll me a d20. If you roll 15 or higher, we'll say you've been here before.
Okay.
But if you want to roll just a general knowledge check, you can do that as well.
Just roll a d20.
Roll a d20.
Gigante. It's a 12.
12. You've never been here before, and for good reason. It is very dangerous to enter or exit this plane of existence.
Okay.
Would you guys like to leave the tent?
I would
Yes.
like to leave the tent. Yes.
Okay. Brock and Jace leave the tent, and perhaps everybody else in their own time. As you exit, you see that there is simply a little sign that hangs outside the tent that simply has a mirror on it. You can't see anything in it. It's sort of like a grayed out mirror, but nonetheless is an image of a mirror. And you look out. Indeed, both of you having attended the Witchlight Carnival, you see its sister carnival, a much darker and pale reflection. It is dim, it is dark. There are certain tents that have been lit up in very spectacular fey colors. But other than that, you see dark canvases, you see people walking around, gloomy and dark. You see dark carnival performers who are downed in blacks and purples. You are in the Shadowfell, and you are in simply the carnival. If it has a name or not, you do not know. Isolde needs to be found. Perhaps there are amusements here to entertain yourself with. But for now, this is your fate, to walk this dark carnival and find out what's interesting about it, where Isolde is, what needs to be done, and perhaps the secret to Season's Fall, at least a part of it, lies here. But we'll pick that up next session.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Thank you,
Hell yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
Yeah.
awesome, guys. Great. It was so good to be back.